Arden of Feversham. Act 1. A room in Arden's house. Enter Arden and Franklin. Franklin, Arden, cheer up thy spirits and droop no more. Chapter 1000. Why gracious Lord, the Duke of Somerset, hath freely given to thee and to thy heirs, by letters patents from his majesty, all the lands of the Abbey of Feversham. Here are the deeds. He hands them, sealed and subscribed with his name and the king's. Read them, and leave this melancholy mood. Arden, Franklin, thy love prolongs my weary life. And but for thee how odious were this life 10. That shows me nothing, but torments my soul, and those foul objects that offend mine eyes, which makes me wish that, for this veil of heaven, the earth hung over my head and covered me. Chapter 50. Ove letters pass twixt Mosby and my wife, and they have privy meetings in the town. Nay, on his finger did I spy the ring, which at our marriage day the priest put on. Chapter 100. And any grief be half so great as this? Franklin, comfort thyself, sweet friend, it is not strange 20, that women will be false and wavering. Arden, I but to dote on such a one as he. Chapter 1. S monstrous, Franklin, and intolerable. Franklin, why what is he? Arden, a botcher and no better at the first, who, by base brockage getting some small stock. Chapter 100. Repped into service of a nobleman, and by his servile flattery and fawning. Chapter 1. S now become the steward of his house, and bravely jets it in his silken gown 30. Franklin, no nobleman will countenance such a peasant. Arden, yes, the Lord Clifford, he that loves not me, but through his favor let him not grow proud. For were he by the Lord Protector backed, he should not make me to be pointed at. Chapter 1. Am by birth a gentleman of blood, and that injurious ribald that attempts to violate my dear wife's chastity. For dear I hold her love, as dear as heaven, shall on the bed, which he thinks to defile 40, see his dissevered joints and sinews torn, whilst on the planchers pants his weary body, smeared in the channels of his lustful blood. Franklin, be patient, gentle friend, and learn of me, to ease thy grief and save her chastity. Chapter 1. Entreat her fair, sweet words are fittest engines to race the flint walls of a woman's breast. Chapter 1. In any case be not too jealous, nor make no question of her love to thee, but as securely, presently take horse 50, and lie with me at London all this term. For women, when they may, will not, but being kept back, straight grow outrageous. Arden, though this abhors from reason, yet I'll try it, and call her forth, and presently take leave. How Alice? Here enters Alice. Alice, husband, what mean you to get up so early? Summer nights are short, and yet you rise ere day. Had I been wake, you had not risen so soon. Arden, sweet love, thou knowest that we two, Ovid like 60, have often chid the morning when it 'gan to peep, and often wished that dark night's purblind steeds would pull her by the purple mantle back and cast her in the ocean to her love. But this night, sweet Alice, thou hast killed my heart. Chapter 1. Heard thee call on Mosby in thy sleep. Alice, 'tis like I was asleep when I named him, for being awake, he comes not in my thoughts. Arden, I but you started up and suddenly. Chapter 1. Instead of him, caught me about the neck 70. Alice, instead of him, why, who was there but you? And where but one is, how can I mistake? Franklin, Arden, leave to urge her overfar. Arden, nay, love, there is no credit in a dream. Chapter 50. Let it suffice, I know thou lovest me well. Alice, now I remember whereupon it came. Had we no talk of Mosby yesternight? Franklin, Mistress Alice, I heard you name him once or twice. Alice, and thereof came it, and therefore blame not me. Arden, I know it did, and therefore let it pass 80. Chapter 1. Must to London, sweet Alice, presently. Alice, but tell me, do you mean to stay there long? Arden, no longer there till my affairs be done. Franklin, he will not stay above a month at most. Alice, a month, I me, sweet Arden, come again. Within a day or two, or else I die. Arden, I cannot long be from thee, gentle Alice. Whilst Michael fetch our horses from the field, Franklin and I will down unto the quay, for I have certain goods there to unload 90. Chapter 1000. E'en will prepare our breakfast, gentle Alice, for yet ere noon will take horse and away. Alice, ere noon he means to take horse and away. Sweet news is this, oh that some airy spirit would in the shape and likeness of a horse gallop with Arden, cross the ocean, and throw him from his back into the waves. Sweet Mosby is the man that hath my heart, and he usurps it, having naught but this, that I am tied to him by marriage 100. Chapter 50. Ove is a god, and marriage is but words, and therefore Mosby's title is the best. Tush, whether it be or no, he shall be mine. Chapter 1. In spite of him, of hymen and of rights. Here enters Adam of the Flower-de-Luce. And here comes Adam of the Flower-de-Luce. Chapter 1. Hope he brings me tidings of my love. How now, Adam, what is the news with you? Be not afraid, my husband is now from home. Adam, he whom you wot of, Mosby, Mistress Alice. Chapter 1. S come to town, and sends you word by me 110. Chapter 1. In any case you may not visit him. Alice, not visit him. Adam, no, nor take no knowledge of his being here. Alice, but tell me, is he angry or displeased? Adam, it should seem so, for he is wondrous sad. Alice, were he as mad as raving Hercules? Chapter 1. I'll see him, I, and were thy house of force, these hands of mine should race it to the ground, unless that thou wouldst bring me to my love. Adam, nay, and you be so impatient, I'll be gone 120. Alice, stay, Adam, stay, thou wert wont to be my friend. Ask Mosby how I have incurred his wrath. Bear him from me, these pair of silver dice, with which we played for kisses many a time. And when I lost, I won, and so did he. Such winning, and such losing Jove send me. And bid him, if his love do not decline, to come this morning, but along my door, and as a stranger but salute me there. This may he do without suspect or fear 130. Adam, I'll tell him what you say, and so farewell. Alice, do, and one day I'll make amends for all. Chapter 1. No, he loves me well, but dares not come, because my husband is so jealous, and these my narrow prying neighbors blab, hinder our meetings when we would confer. But if I live, that block shall be removed. And Mosby, thou that comes to me by stealth, shalt neither fear the biting speech of men, nor Arden's looks, as surely shall he die 140, as I abhor him and love only thee. Here enters Michael. How now, Michael, whither are you going? Chapter 1099. Hail, to fetch my master's nag. Chapter 1. Hope you'll think on me. Alice, aye, but Michael, see you keep your oath, and be as secret as you are resolute. Chapter 1099. Hail, I'll see he shall not live above a week. Alice, on that condition, Michael, here's my hand. None shall have Mosby's sister but thyself. Chapter 1099. Hail, I understand the painter here hard by hath made report that he and Sue is sure. Alice, there's no such matter, Michael, believe it not. Chapter 1099. Hail, but he hath sent a dagger sticking in a heart, with a verse or two stolen from a painted cloth, the which I hear the wench keeps in her chest. Well, let her keep it. I shall find a fellow that can both write and read and make rhyme too. And if I do, well, I say no more. Chapter 1. I'll send from London such a taunting letter As she shall eat the heart he sent with salt 160, and fling the dagger at the painter's head. Alice, what needs all this? I say that Susan's thine. Chapter 1099. Hail. Why, then I say that I will kill my master, or anything that you will have me do. Alice, but Michael, see you do it cunningly. Chapter 1099. Hail. Why say I should be took, I'll ne'er confess that you know anything, and Susan being a maid. Chapter 1000. I beg me from the gallows of the sheriff. Alice, trust not to that, Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail. You cannot tell me I have seen it, I 170. But mistress, tell her whether I live or die. Chapter 1. I'll make her more worth than 20 painters can, for I will rid mine elder brother away. And then the farm of Bolton is mine own, who would not venture upon house and land, when he may have it for a right down blow. Here enters Mosby. Alice, yonder comes Mosby. Michael, get thee gone, and let not him nor any know thy drifts. Chapter 1000. Osby, my love. Chapter 1000. Osby, away, I say, and talk not to me now 180. Alice, a word or two, sweetheart, and then I will. 'Tis yet but early days, thou needst not fear. Chapter 1000. Osby, where is your husband? Alice, 'tis now high water, and he is at the quay. Chapter 1000. Osby, there let him be, henceforward know me not. Alice, is this the end of all thy solemn oaths? Chapter 1. Is this the fruit thy reconcilement buds? Have I for this given thee so many favors? Chapter 1. Incurred my husband's hate, and out alas. Chapter 1000. A death shipwreck of mine honor for thy sake, 190. And dost thou say, henceforward know me not? Remember, when I locked thee in my closet. What were thy words and mine? Did we not both? Chapter 500. Ecry to murder Arden in the night. The heavens can witness, and the world can tell, before I saw that falsehood look of thine, for I was tangled with thy ticking speech. Arden to me was dearer than my soul, and shall be still. Base peasant, get thee gone, and boast not of thy conquest over me 200, gotten by witchcraft and mere sorcery. For what hast thou to countenance my love, being descended of a noble house, and matched already with a gentleman, whose servant thou mayst he be, and so farewell. Chapter 1000. Osby, ungentle and unkind Alice, now I see that which I ever feared, and find too true. A woman's love is as the lightning flame, which even in bursting forth consumes itself. To try thy constancy have I been strange, 210. Would I had never tried, but lived in hope. Alice, what needst thou try me whom thou ne'er found false? Chapter 1000. Osby, yet pardon me, for love is jealous. Alice, so lists the sailor to the mermaid's song, so looks the traveler to the basilisk. Chapter 1. Am content for to be reconciled, and that, I know, will be mine overthrow. Chapter 1000. Osby, thine overthrow, first let the world dissolve. Alice, nay, Mosby, let me still enjoy thy love, and happen what will, I am resolute 220. Chapter 1000. Why saving husband hoards up bags of gold, to make our children rich, and now is he gone to unload the goods that shall be thine, and he and Franklin will to London straight. Chapter 1000. Osby, to London, Alice, if thou'lt be ruled by me, will make him sure enough for coming there. Alice, ah, would we could. Chapter 1000. Osby, I happened on a painter yesternight, the only cunning man of Christendom, for he can temper poison with his oil 230, that whoso looks upon the work he draws, shall, with the beams that issue from his sight, suck venom to his breast and slay himself. Sweet Alice, he shall draw thy counterfeit, that Arden may, by gazing on it, perish. Alice, I but Mosby, that is dangerous, for thou, or I, or any other else, Chapter 100. Oming into the chamber where it hangs may die. Chapter 1000. Osby. Aye, but will have it covered with a cloth. And hung up in the study for himself, 240. Alice. It may not be, for when the picture's drawn. Arden, I know, will come and show it me. Chapter 1000. Osby. Fear not, will have that shall serve the turn. This is the painter's house, I'll call him forth. Alice. But Mosby, I'll have no such picture, I. Chapter 1000. Osby. I pray thee leave it to my discretion. How, Clark? Here enters Clark. Oh, you are an honest man of your word. You served me well. Chapter 150. Ark. Why, sir, I'll do it for you at any time. Provided, as you have given your word, 250. Chapter 1. May have Susan Mosby to my wife. For as sharp-witted poets, whose sweet verse. Chapter 1000. Ache heavenly gods break off their nectar draughts, and lay their ears down to the lowly earth. Use humble promise to their sacred muse. So we that are the poets' favorites. Chapter 1000. Us't have a love. Aye, love is the painter's muse. That makes him frame a speaking countenance, a weeping eye that witnesses heart's grief. Then tell me, Master Mosby, shall I have her? 260. Alice. Tease pity, but he should, he'll use her well. Chapter 1000. Osby. Clark, here's my hand, my sister shall be thine. Chapter 150. Ark. Then, brother, to requite this courtesy, you shall command my life, my skill and all. Alice. Ah, that thou couldst be secret. Chapter 1000. Osby. Fear him not, leave, I have talked sufficient. Chapter 150. Ark. You know not me that ask such questions. Chapter 50. Let it suffice, I know you love him well, and fain would have your husband made away. Wherein, trust me, you show a noble mind. 270. That rather than you'll live with him you hate, you'll venture life, and die with him you love. The like will I do for my Susan's sake. Alice. Yet nothing could enforce me to the deed. But Mosby's love, might I without control enjoy thee still, then Arden should not die. But seeing I cannot, therefore let him die. Chapter 1000. Osby. Enough, sweet Alice, thy kind words makes me melt. Your trick of poison pictures we dislike. Some other poison would do better, far. 280. Alice. Aye, such as might be put into his broth, and yet in taste not to be found at all. Chapter 150. Ark. I know your mind, and here I have it for you. Put but a dram of this into his drink, or any kind of broth that he shall eat, and he shall die within an hour after. Alice. As I am a gentlewoman, Clark, next day thou and Susan shall be married. Chapter 1000. Osby. And I'll make her dowry more than I'll talk of Clark. Chapter 150. Ark. Yonder's your husband. Mosby. I'll be gone. 290. Here enters Arden and Franklin. Alice. In good time see where my husband comes. Chapter 1000. Aster Mosby. Ask him the question yourself. Chapter 1000. Osby. Master Arden being at London yesternight, the abbey lands, whereof you are now possessed, were offered me on some occasion by Green, one of Sir Anthony Ager's men. Chapter 1. Pray you, sir, tell me, are not the lands yours? Hath any other interest herein? Arden. Mosby. That question will decide anon. Alice. Make ready my breakfast. I must hence 300. As for the lands, Mosby, they are mine, by letters patents from his majesty. But I must have a mandate for my wife. They say you seek to rob me of her love. Chapter 104. Ain, what makest thou in her company? She's no companion for so base a groom. Chapter 1000. Osby. Arden, I thought not on her I came to thee, but rather than I pocket up this wrong. Franklin. What will you do, sir? Chapter 1000. Osby. Revenge it on the proudest of you both. 310. Arden. So, sirrah, you may not wear a sword. The statute makes against artificers. Chapter 1 Warrant that I do. Now use your bodkin, your Spanish needle, and your pressing iron. For this shall go with me, and mark my words. You goodman botcher, 'tis to you I speak. The next time that I take thee near my house. Chapter 1 Instead of legs I'll make thee crawl on stumps. Chapter 1000 Osby, ah, Master Arden, you have injured me. Chapter 1 Do appeal to God and to the world 320. Franklin, why canst thou deny thou wert a botcher once? Chapter 1000 Osby, measure me what I am, not what I was. Arden, why, what art thou now but a velvet drudge? A cheating steward and base-minded peasant. Chapter 1000 Osby, Arden, now thou hast belched and vomited the rancorous venom of thy misswollen heart. Hear me but speak, as I intend to live, with God and his elected saints in heaven. Chapter 1 Never meant more to solicit her, and that she knows, and all the world shall see 330. Chapter 1 Loved her once, sweet Arden, pardon me. Chapter 1 Could not choose, her beauty fired my heart, but time hath quenched these overraging coals. And Arden, though I now frequent thy house, 'tis for my sister's sake, her waiting maid, and not for hers, mayest thou enjoy her long. Hellfire and wrathful vengeance light on me. Chapter 1 If I dishonor her or injure thee. Arden, Mosby, with these thy protestations, the deadly hatred of my heart's appeased 340. And thou and I'll be friends, if this prove true. As for the base terms I gave thee late, forget them, Mosby, I had cause to speak, when all the knights and gentlemen of Kent. Chapter 1000 Ake common table talk of her and thee. Chapter 1000 Osby, who lives that is not touched with slanderous tongues. Franklin, then Mosby, to eschew the speech of men, upon whose general brute all honor hangs. Forbear his house. Arden, forbear it, nay, rather frequent it more, 350. The world shall see that I distrust her not. To warn him on the sudden from my house, or to confirm the rumor that is grown. Chapter 1000 Osby, by my faith, sir, you say true, and therefore will I sojourn here a while, until our enemies have talked their fill. And then, I hope, they'll cease and at last confess how causeless they have injured her and me. Arden, and I will lie at London all this term, to let them see how light I weigh their words, 360. Here enters Alice. Alice, husband, sit down, your breakfast will be cold. Arden, come, Master Mosby, will you sit with us? Chapter 1000 Osby, I cannot eat, but I'll sit for company. Arden, Sirrah Michael, see our horse be ready. Alice, husband, why pause ye? Why eat you not? Arden, I am not well, there's something in this broth. That is not wholesome. Didst thou make it, Alice? Alice, I did, and that's the cause it likes not you. There's nothing that I do can please your taste. You were best to say, I would have poisoned you 370. Chapter 1 Cannot speak or cast aside my eye, but he imagines I have stepped awry. Here, as he that you cast in my teeth so oft. Now will I be convinced or purge myself. Chapter 1 Charge thee speak to this mistrustful man. Thou that wouldst see me hang, thou Mosby, thou. What favor hast thou had more than a kiss? At coming or departing from the town. Chapter 1000 Osby, you wrong yourself and me to cast these doubts. Your loving husband is not jealous, 380. Arden, why, gentle Mistress Alice, cannot I be ill? But you'll accuse yourself. Franklin, thou hast a box of mithridate. Chapter 1 I'll take a little to prevent the worst. Franklin, do so, and let us presently take horse. Chapter 1000 Why life for yours, ye shall do well enough. Alice, give me a spoon, I'll eat of it myself. Would it were full of poison to the brim. Then should my cares and troubles have an end. Was ever silly woman so tormented? 390. Arden, be patient, sweet love, I mistrust not thee. Alice, God will revenge it, Arden, if thou dost. For never woman loved her husband better than I do thee. Arden, I know it, sweet Alice, cease to complain. Chapter 50. That in tears I answer thee again. Franklin, come, leave this dallying and let us away. Alice, forbear to wound me with that bitter word. Arden shall go to London in my arms. Arden, loth am I to depart, yet I must go 400. Alice, wilt thou to London then, and leave me here? Ah, if thou love me, gentle Arden, stay. Yet, if thy business be of great import, go, if thou wilt, I'll bear it as I may. But write from London to me every week. Nay, every day, and stay no longer there. Then thou must needs, lest that I die for sorrow. Arden, I'll write unto thee every other tide. And so farewell, sweet Alice, till we meet next. Alice, farewell, husband, seeing you'll have it so, 410. And Master Franklin, seeing you take him hence. Chapter 1. And hope you'll hasten him home, I'll give you this. Franklin, and if he stay, the fault shall not be mine. Chapter 1000. Osby, farewell, and see you keep your oath. Chapter 1000. Osby, I hope he is not jealous of me now. Arden, no, Mosby, no, hereafter think of me as of your dearest friend, and so farewell. Alice, I am glad he is gone, he was about to stay. But did you mark me then how I break off? Chapter 1000. Osby, I, Alice, and it was cunningly performed 420. But what a villain is that painter Clark? Alice, was it not a goodly poison that he gave? Why, he's as well now as he was before. Chapter 1. Tea should have been some fine confection. That might have given the broth some dainty taste. This powder was too gross and populous. Chapter 1000. Osby, but had he eaten but 3 spoonfuls more, then had he died, and our love continued. Alice, why so it shall Mosby, albeit he live. Chapter 1000. Osby, it is unpossible, for I have sworn 430. Never hereafter to solicit thee. Or, whilst he lives, once more importune thee. Alice, thou shalt not need, I will importune thee. What, shall an oath make thee forsake my love? As if I have not sworn as much myself, and given my hand unto him in the church. Tush, Mosby, oaths are words, and words is wind. And wind is mutable, then I conclude. 'Tis childishness to stand upon an oath. Chapter 1000. Osby, well proved, Mistress Alice, yet by your leave 440. Chapter 1. I'll keep mine unbroken whilst he lives. Alice, I do and spare not, his time is but short. For if thou be'st as resolute as I, we'll have him murdered as he walks the streets. Chapter 1. In London many alehouse ruffians keep, which, as I hear, will murder men for gold. They shall be soundly feed to pay him home. Here enters Green. Chapter 1000. Osby, Alice, what's he that comes yonder? Knowest thou him? Alice, Mosby be gone, I hope 'tis one that comes to put in practice our intended drifts, 450. Green, Mistress Arden, you are well met. Chapter 1. Am sorry that your husband is from home. Weena's my purpose journey was to him. Yet all my labor is not spent in vain. For I suppose that you can full discourse, and flat resolve me of the thing I seek. Alice, what is it, Master Green, if that I may? Or can with safety, I will answer you. Green, I heard your husband hath the grant of late. Chapter 100. Confirmed by letters patents from the King 460. Of all the lands of the Abbey of Feversham, generally entitled, so that all former grants are cut off, whereof I myself had one. But now my interest by that is void. This is all, Mistress Arden. Is it true or no? Alice, true, Master Green. The lands are his in state, and whatsoever leases were before. are void for term of Master Arden's life. He hath the grant under the chancery seal. Green, pardon me, Mistress Arden, I must speak 470. For I am touched, your husband doth me wrong, to wring me from the little land I have. Chapter 1000. Why living is my life, and only that resteth remainder of my portion. Chapter 500. Esure of wealth is endless in his mind, and he is greedy gaping still for gain. Nor cares he though young gentlemen do beg, so he may scrape and hoard up in his pouch. But seeing he hath ta'en my lands, I'll value life, as careless as he is careful for to get 480. And tell him this from me, I'll be revenged. And so as he shall wish the abbey lands had rested still within their former state. Alice, alas, poor gentleman, I pity you, and woe is me that any man should want. God knows, 'tis not my fault, but wonder not, though he be hard to others, when to me. Ah, Master Green, God knows how I am used. Green, why, Mistress Arden, can the crabbed churl use you unkindly? Respects he not your birth 490? Your honorable friends, nor what you brought? Why, all Kent knows your parentage, and what you are. Alice, ah, Master Green, be it spoken in secret here. Chapter 1. Never live good day with him alone. When he's at home, then have I froward looks, hard words and blows, to mend the match withal. And though I might content as good a man, yet doth he keep in every corner trulls. And when he's weary with his trugs at home, then rides he straight to London, there, forsooth 500. He revels it among such filthy ones as counsels him to make away his wife. Thus live I daily in continual fear. Chapter 1. In sorrow, so despairing of redress, as every day I wish with hearty prayer that he or I were taken forth the world. Green, now trust me, Mistress Alice, it grieveth me, so fair a creature should be so abused. Why, who would have thought the civil sir so sullen? He looks so smoothly, now fie upon him, churl, 510. And if he live a day, he lives too long. But frolic, woman, I shall be the man, shall set you free from all this discontent. And if the churl deny my interest, and will not yield my lease into my hand. Chapter 1. I'll pay him home, whatever hap to me. Alice, but speak you as you think. Green, I, God's my witness, I mean plain dealing. For I had rather die than lose my land. Alice, then Master Green, be counselled by me, 520. Chapter 1. Endanger not yourself for such a churl, but hire some cutter for to cut him short. And here's £10 to wager them withal. When he is dead, you shall have 20 more. And the lands whereof my husband is possessed shall be entitled as they were before. Green, will you keep promise with me? Alice, or count me false and perjured whilst I live? Green, then here's my hand, I'll have him so dispatched. Chapter 1. I'll up to London straight, I'll thither post 5:30. And never rest till I have compassed it. Till then farewell. Alice, good fortune follow all your forward thoughts, and whosoever doth attempt the deed. A happy hand I wish, and so farewell. All this goes well, Mosby, I long for thee, to let thee know all that I have contrived. Here enters Mosby and Clark. Chapter 1000. Osby, how now, Alice, what's the news? Alice, such as will content thee well, sweetheart. Chapter 1000. Osby, well, let them pass a while and tell me, Alice, how have you dealt and tempered with my sister? What, will she have my neighbour Clark, or no? Alice, what Master Mosby, let him woo himself. Think you that maids look not for fair words? Go to her, Clark, she's all alone within. Chapter 1099. Hail, my man is clean out of her books. Chapter 150. Ark, I thank you, Mistress Arden, I will in. And if fair Susan and I can make agree, you shall command me to the uttermost. As far as either goods or life may stretch 550. Chapter 1000. Osby, now Alice, let's hear thy news. Alice, they be so good that I must laugh for joy before I can begin to tell my tale. Chapter 1000. Osby, let's hear them that I may laugh for company. Alice, this morning Master Green, Dick Green I mean, from whom my husband had the abbey land. Chapter 100. Aim hither railing for to know the truth, whether my husband had the lands by grant. Chapter 1. Told him all whereat he stormed Amain, and swore he would cry quittance with the churl 560. And, if he did deny his interest, stab him, whatsoever did befall himself. Ween as I saw his choler thus to rise. Chapter 1. Wedded on the gentleman with words. And to conclude, Mosby, at last we grew to composition for my husband's death. Chapter 1. Gave him £10 for to hire knaves, by some device to make away the churl. When he is dead, he should have 20 more, and repossess his former lands again, 570. On this we agreed, and he has ridden straight to London for to bring his death about. Chapter 1000. Osby, but call you this good news? Alice, aye, sweetheart, be they not? Chapter 1000. Osby, tweer cheerful news to hear the churl were dead. But trust me, Alice, I take it passing ill. You would be so forgetful of our state, to make recount of it to every groom. What, to acquaint each stranger with our drifts? Chapter 100. Heafly in case of murder, why, tease the way 580. To make it open unto Arden's self, and bring thyself and me to ruin both. Forewarned, forearmed, who threats his enemy. Chapter 50. Ends him a sword to guard himself withal. Alice, I did it for the best. Chapter 1000. Osby, well, seeing tease done, cheerly let it pass. You know this Green, is he not religious? A man, I guess, of great devotion. Alice, he is. Chapter 1000. Osby, then sweet Alice, let it pass, I have a drift 590. Will quiet all, whatever is amiss. Here enters Clark and Susan. Alice, how now, Clark, have you found me false? Chapter 999. I not plead the matter hard for you. Chapter 150. Ark, you did. Chapter 1000. Osby, and what, wilt be a match? Chapter 150. Ark, a match, I faith, sir, I the day is mine. The painter lays his colors to the life. His pencil draws no shadows in his love. Susan is mine. Alice, you make her blush 600. Chapter 1000. Osby, what sister is it Clark must be the man? Susan, it resteth in your grant, some words are past, and haply we be grown unto a match. Chapter 1. If you be willing that it shall be so. Chapter 1000. Osby, ah, Master Clark, it resteth at my grant. You see my sister, as yet at my dispose. But, so you'll grant me one thing I shall ask. Chapter 1. I'm content my sister shall be yours. Chapter 150. Ark, what is it, Master Mosby? Chapter 1000. Osby, I do remember once in secret talk 610. You told me how you could compound by art a crucifix empoisoned, that whoso look upon it should wax blind, and with the scent be stifled, that ere long he should die poisoned that did view it well. Chapter 1. Would have you make me such a crucifix, and then I'll grant my sister shall be yours. Chapter 150. Ark, though I am loth because it toucheth life, yet rather I'll leave sweet Susan's love. Chapter 1. I'll do it, and with all the haste I may 620. But for whom is it? Alice, leave that to us. Why, Clark, is it possible that you should paint and draw it out yourself? The colors being baleful and empoisoned, and no ways prejudice yourself withal. Chapter 1000. Osby, well questioned, Alice. Clark, how answer you that? Chapter 150. Ark, very easily, I'll tell you straight how I do work of these empoisoned drugs. Chapter 1. Fasten on my spectacles so close, as nothing can any way offend my sight. 630. Then, as I put a leaf within my nose, so put I rhubarb to avoid the smell. And softly, as another work I paint. Chapter 1000. Osby. 'Tis very well, but against when shall I have it? Chapter 150. Ark. Within this 10 days. Chapter 1000. Osby. 'Twill serve the turn. Now, Alice, let's in and see what cheer you keep. Chapter 1. Hope, now Master Arden is from home, you'll give me leave to play your husband's part. Alice, Mosby, you know, who's master of my heart. He well may be the master of the house. 640. Chapter 1. Patents, the plural is always used in a. Cf. Richard II. Chapter 1. Contrast Holinshed. He, i.e. Arden, was contented to wink at her filthy disorder, and Wardmote book, all which things the said Arden did well know and wilfully did permit and suffer the same. He was afraid to offend Lord North, father-in-law unto Alice Arden, whose servant Mosby had been. This North was the father of the translator of Plutarch. Chapter 1. Pass, so Bullen for past, A, B, C. Chapter 1. Botcher is not butcher, but a mender of old clothes. Chapter 1. Jealous, spelt jellyhouse and pronounced so throughout the play. Chapter 1. The reference is to Ovid's elegy, ad orem ne properit, Amor. Chapter 1. Most editions reject often. If we retain it, the line is an Alexandrine. Cf. 167, 238, 479, III, etc. Chapter 1. Flower de Luce. An inn formerly situated in Abbey Street, nearly opposite Arden's house. C.E. Donne, an essay on the tragedy of Arden of Feversham, 1873. Chapter 1. Thy house of force, i.e. fortified house. Chapter 1. Narrow, so all editors, but the marrow prying of A may be correct. Blab is either a verb with and omitted after it, or a noun, the subject of hinder. Chapter 1. An allusion to verses or inscriptions on tapestry hangings. Chapter 1. Cf. I'll write to him a very taunting letter. As you like it, I. Chapter 1. It was popularly supposed that a virgin might save a criminal from the gallows by offering to marry him. See note to my edition of Marston, -1. Bullen. Chapter 1. Perhaps Worth should be omitted. Chapter 1. Bolton is Boughton looking down on Canterbury. Donne. Chapter 1. The name Clark is apparently our author's invention, like the name and character of Franklin. The painter's name was William Blackburn. Chapter 1. Leave, Tyrrell reads love. Chapter 1. Makes, this singular with a plural subject is frequent in our play, cf. Enters in the stage directions with a plural, and 437, 502, II, and etc. Consult Mr. Verity's note on Edward I, Temple Dramatists. Chapter 1. The statute in question was 37 Edward III. Chapter 1. The making of Spanish needles was first taught in England by Elias Crowes, a Germain about the 8th year of Queen Elizabeth, and in Queen Marie's time there was a Negro made fine Spanish needles in Cheapside, but would never teach his art to any. Quoted by Bullen from Stowe, edition 1631, p. 1038. Chapter 1. Then Mosby, having at his girdle a pressing iron of 14-pound weight, stroke him on the head with the same, so that he fell down and gave a great groan. Holinshed, CFV. Chapter 1. Velvet Drudge, an allusion to Mosby's tailoring. Chapter 1. Populous, perhaps used in the sense of thick, compact. Bullen, Webster quotes this passage and explains, suitable to common people, hence common, inferior, vulgar. Delius proposes palpable. Chapter 1. His instate, i.e. his legally. Chapter 1. Cf. To wring the widow from her customed right. 2 Henry V.I.V. Chapter 1. Tyrrell begins Act II, here. Chapter 1. The gentleman is not in your books. Much ado I. Chapter 1. Make agree, come to an agreement. Agree was used adverbially for agree. Act 2. Scene 1. Chapter 100. Outry between Feversham and London. Enter Green and Bradshaw. Bradshaw, see you them that comes yonder, Master Green? Green, I very well, do you know them? Here enters Black Will and Shakebag. Bradshaw, the one I know not, but he seems a knave. Chapter 100. He flee for bearing the other company. For such a slave, so vile a rogue as he. Chapter 54. Ease not again upon the earth. Black Will is his name, I tell you, Master Green. At Boulogne he and I were fellow soldiers, where he played such pranks, as all the camp feared him for his villainy. 10. Chapter 1. Warrant you he bears so bad a mind, that for a crown he'll murder any man. Green, the fitter is he for my purpose, marry. Will, how now, fellow Bradshaw, whither away so early? Bradshaw, oh Will, times are changed, no fellows now, though we were once together in the field. Yet thy friend, to do thee any good I can. Will, why, Bradshaw, was not thou and I fellow soldiers? At Boulogne, where I was a corporal, and thou but a base mercenary groom, no fellows. Now, because you are a goldsmith and have a little plate in your shop, you were glad to call me fellow Will, and with a curtsy to the earth. 1. Snatch, good corporal, when I stole the half-ox from John the victualler, and domineered with it amongst good fellows in one night. Bradshaw, I will, those days are past with me 27. Will, I, but they be not past with me, for I keep that same honorable mind still. Good neighbor Bradshaw, you are too proud to be my fellow, but were. Chapter 1. Not that I see more company coming down the hill, I would be fellows with you once more, and share crowns with you too, but let that pass, and tell me whither you go. Bradshaw, to London, Will, about a piece of service, wherein haply thou mayest pleasure me. Will, what is it? Bradshaw, of late Lord Cheney lost some plate, which one did bring and sold it at my shop, saying he served Sir Anthony Cook. 40. A search was made, the plate was found with me, and I am bound to answer at the size. Now Lord Cheney solemnly vows, if law will serve him, he'll hang me for his plate. Now I am going to London upon hope to find the fellow. Now Will, I know thou art acquainted with such companions. Will, what manner of man was he? Bradshaw, a lean-faced writhen knave, hawk-nosed and very hollow-eyed, 50, with mighty furrows in his stormy brows. Chapter 50. Long hair down his shoulders curled. His chin was bare, but on his upper lip a machado, which he wound about his ear. Will, what apparel had he? Bradshaw, a watchet satin doublet all to torn. The inner side did bear the greater show. A pair of threadbare velvet hose, seam rent. A worsted stocking ran above the shoe. A livery cloak, but all the lace was off. 60. 'Twas bad, but yet it served to hide the plate. Will, Sirrah Shakebag, canst thou remember since we trolled the bowl at Sittingburg, where I broke the tapster's head of the lion with a cudgel stick? Shakebag, I very well will. Will, why, it was with the money that the plate was sold for. Sirrah Bradshaw, what wilt thou give him that can tell thee who sold thy plate? Bradshaw, who, I pray thee, good Will. Will, why, 'twas one Jack Fitton, he's now in Newgate, for stealing a horse, and shall be arraigned the next, size 72. Bradshaw, why, then let Lord Cheney seek Jack Fitton forth, for I'll back and tell him who robbed him of his plate. This cheers my heart. Master Green, I'll leave you, for I must to the Isle of Sheppey with speed. Green, before you go, let me entreat you to carry this letter to Mistress Arden of Feversham, and humbly recommend me to herself. Bradshaw, that will I, Master Green, and so farewell. 80. Here, Will, there's a crown for thy good news. Exit Bradshaw. Will, Farewell, Bradshaw, I'll drink no water for thy sake whilst this lasts. Now, gentlemen, shall we have your company to London? Green, nay, stay, sirs. A little more I needs, must use your help, and in a matter of great consequence, wherein, if you'll be secret and profound. Chapter 1. I'll give you 20 angels for your pains, 89. Will, how, 20 angels? Give my fellow George Shakebag and me 20 angels, and if thou'lt have thy own father slain, that thou mayst he inherit his land, will kill him 93. Shakebag, I thy mother, thy sister, thy brother, or all thy kin. Green, well, this it is, Arden of Feversham hath highly wronged me about the abbey land, that no revenge but death will serve the turn. Will you two kill him? Here's the angels down, and I will lay the platform of his death, 100. Will, plat me no platforms, give me the money, and Chapter 1. I'll stab him as he stands pissing against a wall, but Chapter 1. I'll kill him. Shakebag, where is he? Green, he is now at London, in Aldersgate Street. Shakebag, he's dead as if he had been condemned by an Act of Parliament, if once Black Will and I swear his death. Green, here is £10, and when he is dead, ye shall have 20 more, 110. Will, my fingers itches to be at the peasant. Ah, that. Chapter 1. Might be set a work thus through the year, and that murder would grow to an occupation, that a Chapter 1000. It might follow without danger of law. Zounds, I warrant I should be warden of the company. Come. Chapter 50. Let us be going, and we'll bait at Rochester, where Chapter 1. I'll give thee a gallon of sack to hansel the match withal. Chapter 2. Mr. Bullen says that such a line as this might have come straight out of Tamburlaine. He goes on, but in no other part of the play can we find a trace of Marlowe's influence. Cf. He sent a shaggy tottered staring slave, that when he speaks draws out his grisly beard, and winds it twice or thrice about his ear, whose face has been a grindstone for men's swords. Jew of Malta, IV. And Shakespeare S. They brought one pinch, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, a living dead man. Chapter 100. Ohm, of Errors v. Chapter 2. All to torn, entirely torn. To in the sense of asunder was commonly emphasized by all. Cf. Her wings were all to ruffled. Camus 380. Chapter 2. Seam rent, torn at the seams. Seam rent fellows, Ben Jonson. Chapter 2. Imitated in Yarrington's 2 tragedies. Grace me no graces, I respect no grace, but with a grace to give a graceless stab. Chapter 2. I have inserted follow. Scene 2. Chapter 50. Auden, a street near St. Paul S. Enter Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, I have gotten such a letter as will touch the painter, and thus it is. Here enters Arden and Franklin, and here's Michael read this letter. My duty remembered, Mistress Susan, hoping in God you be in good health, as I Michael was at the Chapter 1000. Aching hereof, this is to certify you that as the turtle true, when she hath lost her mate, sitteth alone, so I mourning for your absence do walk up and down Paul, till one day I fell asleep and Chapter 50. Os my master's pantoffles, ah, Mistress Susan. Abolish that paltry painter, cut him off by the shins with a frowning look of your crabbed countenance, and think upon Michael, who, drunk with the dregs of your favor, will cleave as fast to your Chapter 50. Ove as a plaster of pitch to a galled horseback. Thus hoping you will let my passions penetrate, or rather impetrate mercy of your meek hands, I end. Yours, Michael, or else not Michael. Arden, why, you paltry knave, stand you here loitering, knowing my affairs? What haste my business craves to send to Kent? 20. Franklin, faith, friend Michael, this is very ill. Knowing your master hath no more but you. And do ye slack his business for your own? Arden, where is the letter, sirrah? Let me see it. Then he gives him the letter. See, Master Franklin, here's proper stuff. Susan my maid, the painter and my man. A crew of harlots, all in love, forsooth. Sirrah, let me hear no more of this. Nor for thy life, once write to her a word. Here enters Green, Will and Shakebag. Wilt thou be married to so base a trull? 30. Tease Mosby's sister, come I once at home. Chapter 1. I'll rouse her from remaining in my house. Now, Master Franklin, let us go walk in Paul S. Chapter 100. But a turn or two, and then away. Green, the first is Arden, and that's his man. The other is Franklin, Arden's dearest friend. Will, zounds, I'll kill them all three. Green, nay, sirs, touch not his man in any case. But stand close, and take you fittest standing. And at his coming forth speed him, 40. To the Nag's Head, there is this coward's haunt. But now, I'll leave you till the deed be done. Shakebag, if he be not paid his own, ne'er trust Shakebag. Will, sirrah Shakebag, at his coming forth I'll run him. Through, and then to the Blackfriars, and there. Take water and away. Shakebag, why that's the best, but see thou miss him not. Will, how can I miss him when I think on the 40? Angels I must have more. Here enters Prentice. Prentice, 'tis very late, I were best shut up my stall. For here will be old filching, when the press comes. 4th of Paul's, 52. Will, zounds, draw Shakebag, I am almost killed. Prentice, will tame you, I warrant. Will, zounds, I am tame enough already. Here enters Arden, Franklin, and Michael. Arden, what troublesome fray or mutiny is this? Franklin, 'tis nothing but some brabling paltry fray. Chapter 500. Advised to pick men's pockets in the throng. Arden, is't nothing else. Come, Franklin, let's away. Will, what mends shall I have for my broken head? 60. Prentice, marry this mends that if you get you not. Away all the sooner, you shall be well beaten and sent to the counter. Will, well, I'll be gone, but look to your signs, for I'll pull them down all, Shakebag my broken head. Grieves me not so much as by this means Arden hath escaped. Here enters Green. Chapter 1. Had a glimpse of him and his companion. Green, why, sirs, Arden's as well as I met him and Franklin going merrily to the ordinary. What dare you not do it? 71. Will, yes, sir, we dare do it, but were my consent to give again, we would not do it under £10. Chapter 1000. Or, I value every drop of my blood at a French. Chapter 100. Roan, I have had £10 to steal a dog, and we have no more here to kill a man, but that a bargain. Chapter 1. As a bargain, and so forth, you should do it yourself. Green, I pray thee, how came thy head broke? Will, why thou seest it is broke, dost thou not? 79. Shakebag, standing against a stall, watching Arden S. Chapter 100. Oming, a boy let down his shop window and broke his head, whereupon arose a brawl, and in the tumult Arden escaped us, and passed by unthought. On, but forbearance is no acquittance. Another time will do it, I warrant thee. Green, I pray thee, Will, make clean thy bloody brow, and let us bethink us on some other place, where Arden may be met with handsomely. Remember how devoutly thou hast sworn to kill the villain. Think upon thine oath. 90. Will, tush, I have broken 500 oaths. But wouldst thou charm me to effect this deed? Tell me of gold, my resolution's fee. Say thou seest Mosby kneeling at my knees, offering me service for my high attempt, and sweet Alice Arden, with a lap of crowns. Chapter 100. Ohms with a lowly curtsy to the earth, saying, take this but for thy quarterage. Such yearly tribute will I answer thee. Why, this would steel's soft-metalled cowardice 100, with which black will was never tainted yet. Chapter 1. Tell thee, Green, the forlorn traveller, whose lips are glued with summer's parching heat, ne'er longed so much to see a running brook, as I to finish Arden's tragedy. Seest thou this gore that cleaveth to my face? From hence ne'er will I wash this bloody stain, till Arden's heart be panting in my hand. Green, why that's well said, but what saith Shakespeare? Shakespeare, I cannot paint my valor out with words, 110. But give me place and opportunity, such mercy as the starven lioness, when she is dry sucked of her eager young, shows to the prey that next encounters her. On Arden so much pity would I take. Green, so should it fare with men of firm resolve. And now, sirs, seeing that this accident of meeting him in Paul's hath no success. Chapter 50. Let us bethink us of some other place, whose earth may swallow up this Arden's blood. Here enters Michael. See, yonder comes his man, and wot you what? The foolish knave's in love with Mosby's sister, and for her sake, whose love he cannot get, unless Mosby solicit his suit. The villain hath sworn the slaughter of his master. We'll question him, for he may stead us much. How now, Michael, whither are you going? Chapter 1099. Hail, my master hath new supped, and I am going to prepare his chamber. Green, where supped Master Arden, 130. Chapter 1099. Hail, at the Nag's Head at the 18 pence. Ordinary, how now, Master Shakespeare, what? Black Will, God's dear lady, how chance your face is so bloody? Will, go to Sirrah, there is a chance in it, this sauciness. Chapter 1. And you will make you be knocked. Chapter 1099. Hail, nay, and you be offended, I'll be gone. Green, stay, Michael, you may not escape us so. Chapter 1099. Hail, I know you love your master well. Chapter 1099. Hail, why so I do, but wherefore urge you that? Green, because I think you love your mistress better. Chapter 1099. Hail, so think not I, but say I faith what if I should. Shakespeare, come to the purpose, Michael, we hear 143. You have a pretty love in Feversham. Chapter 1099. Hail, why have I 2 or 3, what's that to thee? Will, you deal too mildly with the peasant, thus it is. 'Tis known to us that you love Mosby's sister. We know besides that you have ta'en your oath to further Mosby to your mistress' bed, and kill your master for his sister's sake. Now, sir, a poorer coward than yourself 150 was never fostered in the coast of Kent. How comes it, then, that such a knave as you, Chapter 500, or swear a matter of such consequence? Green, ah, Will, tush, give me leave, there's no more but this. Sith thou hast sworn, we dare discover all. And hadst thou, or shouldst thou utter it, we have devised a complat underhand, whatever shall betide to any of us, to send thee roundly to the devil of hell 160. And therefore thus, I am the very man. Chapter 1000, arced in my birth hour by the destinies, to give an end to Arden's life on earth. Thou but a member, but to whet the knife, whose edge must search the closet of his breast. Thy office is but to appoint the place, and train thy master to his tragedy. Chapter 1001, knee to perform it when occasion serves. Then be not nice, but here devise with us how and what way we may conclude his death, 170. Shakespeare, so shalt thou purchase Mosby for thy friend, and by his friendship gain his sister's love. Green, so shall thy mistress be thy favourer, and thou disburdened of the oath thou made. Chapter 1099. Hail, well, gentlemen, I cannot but confess, sith you have urged me so apparently, that I have vowed my master Arden's death, and he whose kindly love and liberal hand. Chapter 500. Oth challenge naught but good deserts of me. Chapter 1. Will deliver over to your hands 180. This night come to his house at Aldersgate. The doors I'll leave unlocked against you come. No sooner shall ye enter through the latch, over the threshold to the inner court, but on your left hand shall you see the stairs. That leads directly to my master's chamber. There take him and dispose him as ye please. Now it were good we parted company. What I have promised, I will perform. Will, should you deceive us, 'twould go wrong with you 190. Chapter 1099. Hail, I will accomplish all I have revealed. Will, come, let's go drink. Collar makes me as dry as a dog 190. Chapter 1099. Hail, thus feeds the lamb securely on the down, whilst through the thicket of an arbor brake the hunger-bitten wolf orpreys his haunt, and takes advantage for to eat him up. Harmless Arden, how hast thou misdone, that thus thy gentle life is levelled at? The many good turns that thou hast done to me 200. Now must I quittance with betraying thee. Chapter 1. That should take the weapon in my hand, and buckler thee from ill-intending foes. Chapter 500. O lead thee with a wicked fraudful smile, as unsuspected, to the slaughterhouse. So have I sworn to Mosby and my mistress. So have I promised to the slaughtermen. And should I not deal currently with them, their lawless rage would take revenge on me. Tush, I will spurn at mercy for this once 210. Chapter 50. At Pity Lodge where feeble women lie. Chapter 1. Am resolved and Arden needs must die. Chapter 2. Michael's letter is a curious effort at euphuism which calls to mind love's labor, lost. Note the fabulous natural history, the alliteration, and the alliterative proverb. Chapter 2. Old filching equals rare filching. Cf. Yonder's old coil at hand. Much ado v. Chapter 2. The counter was a London prison. Act 3. Scene 1. A room in Franklin's house, at Aldersgate. Enter Arden and Franklin. Arden, no, Franklin, no, if fear or stormy threats. Chapter 1. Love of me or care of womanhood. Chapter 1. Fear of God or common speech of men, who mangle credit with their wounding words, and couch dishonor as dishonor buds. Chapter 1001. GHT join repentance in her wanton thoughts. No question then, but she would turn the leaf, and sorrow for her dissolution. But she is rooted in her wickedness, perverse and stubborn, not to be reclaimed. 10. Good counsel is to her as rain to weeds, and reprehension makes her vice to grow, as Hydra's head that plenished by decay. Her faults, methink, are painted in my face, for every searching eye to overread, and Mosby's name, a scandal unto mine. Chapter 1. Deeply trenched in my blushing brow. Ah, Franklin, Franklin, when I think on this. Chapter 1000. Why heart's grief rends my other powers. Worse than the conflict at the hour of death. 20. Franklin, gentle Arden, leave this sad lament. She will amend, and so your griefs will cease. Or else she'll die, and so your sorrows end. Chapter 1. Neither of these two do haply fall, yet let your comfort be that others bear your woes, twice doubled all with patience. Arden, my house is irksome, there I cannot rest. Franklin, then stay with me in London, go not home. Arden, then that base Mosby doth usurp my room, and makes his triumph of my being thence 30. At home or not at home, where'er I be. Here it lies, ah Franklin, here it lies. That will not out till wretched Arden dies. Here enters Michael. Franklin, forget your griefs a while, here comes your man. Arden, what o'clock is't, Sirrah? Chapter 1099. Hail, almost 10. Arden, see, how runs away the weary time. Chapter 100. Master Franklin, shall we go to bed? Exeunt Arden and Michael. man at Franklin. Franklin, I pray you go before, I'll follow you. Ah, what a hell is fretful jealousy. 40. What pity-moving words, what deep-fetched sighs, what grievous groans and overlading woes accompanies this gentle gentleman. Now will he shake his care-oppressed head, then fix his sad eyes on the sullen earth, ashamed to gaze upon the open world. Now will he cast his eyes up towards the heavens. Chapter 50. Ooking that ways for redress of wrong. Sometimes he seeketh to beguile his grief, and tells a story with his careful tongue. 50. Then comes his wife's dishonor in his thoughts, and in the middle cutteth off his tail, pouring fresh sorrow on his weary limbs. So woebegone, so inly charged with woe, was never any lived and bear it so. Here enters Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, my master would desire you come to bed. Franklin, is he himself already in his bed? Chapter 1099. Hail, he is, and fain would have the light away. Conflicting thoughts, encamped in my breast, awake me with the echo of their strokes. 60. And I, adjudge to censure either side. Chapter 100. And give to neither wished victory. Chapter 1000. Why master's kindness pleads to me for life, with just demand, and I must grant it him. Chapter 1000. Why mistress she hath forced me with an oath, for Susan's sake, the which I may not break, for that is nearer than a master's love. That grim-faced fellow, pitiless black will, and Shakebag, stern in bloody stratagem. Two rougher ruffians never lived in Kent. 70. Have sworn my death, if I infringe my vow. A dreadful thing to be considered of. Chapter 1000. Ethinks I see them with their bolstered hair, staring and grinning in thy gentle face, and in their ruthless hands their daggers drawn. Chapter 1. Insulting o'er thee with a peck of oaths, whilst thou submissive, pleading for relief, art mangled by their ireful instruments. Chapter 1000. Ethinks I hear them ask where Michael is, and pitiless black will cries, stab thee slave. 80. The peasant will detect the tragedy. The wrinkles in his foul death-threatening face gapes open wide, like graves to swallow men. Chapter 1000. Why death to him is but a merriment, and he will murder me to make him sport. He comes, ah, Master Franklin, help. Chapter 100. All on the neighbors, or we are but dead. Here enters Franklin and Arden. Franklin, what dismal outcry calls me from my rest? Arden, what hath occasioned such a fearful cry? Speak, Michael, hath any injured thee? 90. Chapter 1099. Hail, nothing, sir, but as I fell asleep upon the threshold leaning to the stairs. Chapter 1. Had a fearful dream that troubled me, and in my slumber thought I was beset with murderer thieves that came to rifle me. Chapter 1000. Why trembling joints witness my inward fear. Chapter 1. Crave your pardons for disturbing you. Arden, so great a cry for nothing I ne'er heard. What, are the doors fast locked and all things safe? Chapter 1099. Hail, I cannot tell, I think I locked the doors 100. Arden, I like not this, but I'll go see myself. Ne'er trust me, but the doors were all unlocked. This negligence not half contenteth me. Get you to bed, and if you love my favor. Chapter 50. Let me have no more such pranks as these. Chapter 100. Oh, Master Franklin, let us go to bed. Franklin, I by my faith, the air is very cold. Chapter 1099. Hail, farewell, I pray thee dream no more. Chapter 3. Couch dishonor as dishonor buds. Warnke explains couch equals spread, comparing couch grass, but there is no authority for this use. Is the word used in its surgical sense? The line would then equals cut the bud of dishonor so that it bursts into flower. The surgical sense occurs in Holland's Pliny, 1601. Chapter 3. Plenished is Warnke's reading for the quartos perished. Delius and Bullen read flourished. Chapter 3, cf. Sorrow and grief have vanquished all my powers. 2 Henry VIII. Chapter 3, for this use of sullen cf. Why are thine eyes fixed to the sullen earth? 2 Henry VIII and Sonnet. Scene 2. Outside Franklin's house. Here enters Will, Green, and Shakebag. Shakebag, black night hath hid the pleasures of the day, and sheeting darkness overhangs the earth, and with the black fold of her cloudy robe, obscures us from the eyesight of the world. Chapter 1, in which sweet silence such as we triumph. The lazy minutes linger on their time, as loth to give due audit to the hour, till in the watch our purpose be complete, and Arden sent to everlasting night. Green, get you gone and linger here about 10, and at some hour hence come to us again, where we will give you instance of his death. Green, speed to my wish, whose will so ere says no, and so I'll leave you for an hour or 2. Will, I tell thee, Shakebag, would this thing were done. Chapter 1, am so heavy that I can scarce go. This drowsiness in me bodes little good. Shakebag, how now, Will, become a precision. Nay, then let's go sleep, when bugs and fears shall kill our courages with their fancies work 20. Will, why, Shakebag, thou mistakes me much, and wrongs me too in telling me of fear. Were't not a serious thing we go about. Chapter 1, tea should be slipped till I had fought with thee, to let thee know I am no coward, I. Chapter 1, tell thee, Shakebag, thou abusest me. Shakebag, why thy speech bewrayed an inly kind of fear, and savoured of a weak relenting spirit. Go forward now, in that we have begun, and afterwards attempt me when thou darest. 30. Will, and if I do not, heaven cut me off. But let that pass, and show me to this house, where thou shalt see I'll do as much as Shakebag. Shakebag, this is the door, but soft, methinks, tea's shut. The villain Michael hath deceived us. Will, soft, let me see, Shakebag, tea's shut indeed. Knock with thy sword, perhaps the slave will hear. Shakebag, it will not be the white-livered peasant. Chapter 1, S gone to bed and laughs us both to scorn. Will, and he shall buy his merriment as dear 40. As ever coistrel bought so little sport. Ne'er let this sword assist me when I need, but rust and canker after I have sworn. Chapter 1, Fi, the next time that I meet the hind. Chapter 50, op not away his leg, his arm, or both. Shakebag, and let me never draw a sword again, nor prosper in the twilight, cockshut light, when I would fleece the wealthy passenger, but lie and languish in a loathsome den, hated and spit at by the goers by 50, and in that death may die unpitied. Chapter 1, Fi, the next time that I meet the slave. Chapter 100, ut not the nose from off the coward's face, and trample on it for this villainy. Will, come, let's go seek out Green, I know he'll swear. Shakebag, he were a villain and he would not swear. 'Twould make a peasant swear among his boys, that ne'er durst say before but yea and no, to be thus flouted of a coistrel. Will, Shakebag, let's seek out Green, and in the morning 60. At the alehouse budding Arden's house. Watch the outcoming of that prick-eared cur, and then let me alone to handle him. Chapter 3, A cockshut was a large net used to catch woodcocks after sunset. Cf. Cockshut time, Richard III. Scene 3. Room in Franklin's house as before. Here enters Arden, Franklin, and Michael. Arden, Sirrah, get you back to Billingsgate, and learn what time the tide will serve our turn. Chapter 100, Ohm to us in Paul S. First go make the bed, and afterwards go hearken for the flood. Chapter 100, Ohm, Master Franklin, you shall go with me. This night I dreamt that, being in a park, a toil was pitched to overthrow the deer, and I upon a little rising hill stood whistly, watching for the herd's approach. Even there, methoughts, a gentle slumber took me 10, and summoned all my parts to sweet repose. But in the pleasure of this golden rest, an ill-thewed foster had removed the toil, and rounded me with that beguiling home, which late, methought, was pitched to cast the deer. With that he blew an evil-sounding horn, and at the noise another herdman came, with falchion drawn, and bent it at my breast. Chapter 100, Rying aloud, "Thou art the game we seek." With this I woke, and trembled every joint 20. Chapter 51, Key one obscured in a little bush, that sees a lion foraging about. And when the dreadful forest king is gone, he pries about with timorous suspect throughout the thorny casements of the brake, and will not think his person dangerless, but quakes and shivers, though the cause be gone. So, trust me, Franklin, when I did awake. Chapter 1, Stood in doubt whether I waked or no. Such great impression took this fond surprise 30. God grant this vision bedeem me any good. Franklin, this fantasy doth rise from Michael's fear, who being awaked with the noise he made, his troubled senses yet could take no rest. And this, I warrant you, procured your dream. Arden, it may be so, God frame it to the best, but oftentimes my dreams presage too true. Franklin, to such as note their nightly fantasies, someone in 20 may incur belief, but use it not, 'tis but a mockery 40. Arden, come, Master Franklin, will now walk in Paul's, and dine together at the ordinary, and by my man's direction draw to the quay, and with the tide go down to Feversham. Say, Master Franklin, shall it not be so? Franklin, at your good pleasure, sir, I'll bear you company. Chapter 3, Rounded me brought me round. Chapter 3, Use, Warnke quotes Macbeth I, using those thoughts which should indeed have died. Chapter 3, With the tide, i.e. by boat on the Thames, Holinshed makes green and black will go to London from Gravesend apparently, at the tide. Scene 4. Aldersgate. Here enters Michael at one door. Here enters Green, Will, and Shakebag at another door. Will, draw Shakebag, for here's that villain Michael. Green, first, Will, let's hear what he can say. Will, speak, milksop slave, and never after speak. Chapter 1099, Hail, for God's sake, sirs, let me excuse myself. For here I swear, by heaven and earth and all. Chapter 1, Did perform the utmost of my task, and left the doors unbolted and unlocked. But see the chance, Franklin and my master were very late conferring in the porch, and Franklin left his napkin where he sat 10, with certain gold knit in it, as he said. Being in bed, he did bethink himself, and coming down, he found the doors unshut. He locked the gates and brought away the keys, for which offense my master rated me. But now I am going to see what flood it is, for with the tide my master will away, where you may front him well on Rainham Down, a place well fitting such a stratagem. Will, your excuse hath somewhat mollified my choler. Why now, Green, 'tis better now nor ere it was 21. Green, but Michael, is this true? Chapter 1099, Hail, as true as I report it to be true. Shakebag, then Michael, this shall be your penance, to feast us all at the salutation, where we will plat our purpose thoroughly. Green, and Michael, you shall bear no news of this tide, because they too may be in Rainham Down, before your master. Chapter 1099, Hail, why I'll agree to anything you'll have me, so you will accept of my company. Chapter 3, The country near Rainham seems in the 16th century to have been so open as to have entitled it to the appellation of a down. Don, the spot had a bad reputation. Chapter 3, The salutation is an inn mentioned in Bartholomew Fair. Chapter 3, Accept is probably the printer's spelling of accept. Scene 5. Arden's house at Feversham. Here enters Mosby. Chapter 1000, Osby, Disturbed thoughts drives me from company, and dries my marrow with their watchfulness. Chapter 100. Ontinual trouble of my moody brain. Feebles my body by excessive drink, and nips me as the bitter northeast wind. Chapter 500. Oth check the tender blossoms in the spring. Well fares the man, howe'er his cates do taste. That table's not with foul suspicion, and he but pines amongst his delicates, whose troubled mind is stuffed with discontent. 10. Chapter 1000. Why golden time was when I had no gold. Though then I wanted, yet I slept secure. Chapter 1000. Why daily toil begat me night's repose. Chapter 1000. Why night's repose made daylight fresh to me. But since I climbed the top bough of the tree, and sought to build my nest among the clouds, each gentle stirry gale doth shake my bed, and makes me dread my downfall to the earth. But whither doth contemplation carry me? The way I seek to find, where pleasure dwells. 20. Chapter 1. Hedged behind me that I cannot back, but needs must on, although to danger's gate. Then, Arden, perish thou by that decree. For green doth ear the land and weed thee up, to make my harvest nothing but pure corn. And for his pains I'll hive him up a while, and after smother him to have his wax. Such bees as green must never live to sting. Then is there Michael, and the painter too. Chapter 100. Heath actors to Arden's overthrow. 30. Who when they shall see me sit in Arden's seat, they will insult upon me for my meed, or fright me by detecting of his end. Chapter 1. None of that, for I can cast a bone, to make these curs pluck out each other's throat, and then am I sole ruler of mine own. Yet Mistress Arden lives, but she's myself, and Holy Church rights makes us two but one. But what for that? I may not trust you, Alice. You have supplanted Arden for my sake 40, and will extirpin me to plant another. 'Tis fearful sleeping in a serpent's bed, and I will cleanly rid my hands of her. Here enters Alice. But here she comes, and I must flatter her. How now, Alice, what sad and passionate? Chapter 1000. Ake me partaker of thy pensiveness. Fire divided burns with lesser force. Alice, but I will damn that fire in my breast, till by the force thereof my part consume. Ah, Mosby. 50. Chapter 1000. Osby, such deep patteras like to a cannon's burst. Chapter 501. Charged against a ruinated wall. Breaks my relenting heart in 1,000 pieces. Ungentle Alice, thy sorrow is my sore. Thou know'st it well, and 'tis thy policy to forge distressful looks to wound a breast, where lies a heart that dies when thou art sad. Chapter 1. T is not love that loves to anger love. Alice, it is not love that loves to murder love. Chapter 1000. Osby, how mean you that? 60. Alice, thou knowest how dearly Arden loved me. Chapter 1000. Osby, and then. Alice, and then conceal the rest, for 'tis too bad. Chapter 50. That my words be carried with the wind, and published in the world to both our shames. Chapter 1. Pray thee, Mosby, let our springtime wither. Our harvest else will yield but loathsome weeds. Forget, I pray thee, what hath passed betwixt us, for how I blush and tremble at the thoughts. Chapter 1000. Osby, what are you changed? 70. Alice, I to my former happy life again, from title of an odious strumpet's name, to honest Arden's wife, not Arden's honest wife. Ha, Mosby, 'tis thou hast rifled me of that, and made me slanderous to all my kin. Even in my forehead is thy name engraven, a mean artificer, that low-born name. Chapter 1. Was bewitched, woe worth the hapless hour, and all the causes that enchanted me. Chapter 1000. Osby, nay, if you ban, let me breathe curses forth 80, and if you stand so nicely at your fame. Chapter 50. Let me repent the credit I have lost. Chapter 1. Have neglected matters of import. That would have stated me above thy state. Forslowed advantages, and spurned at time. I, fortune's right hand Mosby hath forsook, to take a wanton giglot by the left. Chapter 1. Left the marriage of an honest maid, whose dowry would have weighed down all thy wealth, whose beauty and demeanor far exceeded thee. 90. This certain good I lost for changing bad, and wrapped my credit in thy company. Chapter 1. Was bewitched, that is no theme of thine, and thou unhallowed has enchanted me. But I will break thy spells and exorcisms, and put another sight upon these eyes. That showed my heart a raven for a dove. Thou art not fair, I viewed thee not till now. Thou art not kind, till now I knew thee not. And now the rain hath beaten off thy gilt 100. Thy worthless copper shows thee counterfeit. Chapter 1. Grieves me not to see how foul thou art, but mads me that ever I thought thee fair. Go, get thee gone, a copsemate for thy hinds. Chapter 1. I'm too good to be thy favourite. Alice, I see, and too soon find it true, which often hath been told me by my friends, that Mosby loves me not but for my wealth, which too incredulous I ne'er believed. Nay, hear me speak, Mosby, a word or two. 110. Chapter 1. I'll bite my tongue if it speak bitterly. Chapter 50. Ook on me, Mosby, or I'll kill myself. Nothing shall hide me from thy stormy look. Chapter 1. If thou cry war, there is no peace for me. Chapter 1. Will do penance for offending thee, and burn this prayer book where I hear use the holy word that had converted me. See, Mosby, I will tear away the leaves, and all the leaves, and in this golden cover shall thy sweet phrases and thy letters dwell. 120. And thereon will I chiefly meditate, and hold no other sect but such devotion. Wilt thou not look, is all thy love o'erwhelmed? Wilt thou not hear, what malice stops thine ears? Why speak'st thou not, what silence ties thy tongue? Thou hast been sighted as the eagle is, and heard as quickly as the fearful hare, and spoke as smoothly as an orator. When I have bid thee hear or see or speak, and art thou sensible in none of these? 130. Weigh all thy good turns with this little fault, and I deserve not Mosby's muddy looks. Offence of trouble is not thickened still. Be clear again, I'll ne'er more trouble thee. Chapter 1000. Osby, oh no, I am a base artificer. Chapter 1000. Why wings are feathered for a lowly flight. Chapter 1000. Osby, fie, no, not for £1,000. Chapter 1000. Ache love to you, why, 'tis unpardonable. We beggars must not breathe where gentles are. Alice, sweet Mosby is as gentle as a king 140. And I too blind to judge him otherwise. Flowers do sometimes spring in fallow lands. Weeds in gardens, roses grow on thorns. So, what's where my Mosby's father was? Himself is valued gentle by his worth. Chapter 1000. Osby, ah, how you women can insinuate and clear a trespass with your sweet-set tongue. Chapter 1. Will forget this quarrel, gentle Alice, provided I'll be tempted so no more. Here enters Bradshaw. Alice, then with thy lips seal up this new-made match. Chapter 1000. Osby, soft, Alice, here comes somebody. 151. Alice, how now, Bradshaw, what's the news with you? Bradshaw, I have little news, but here's a letter that Master Green importuned me to give you. Alice, go in, Bradshaw, call for a cup of beer. 'Tis almost supper time, thou shalt stay with us. Then she reads the letter. We have missed of our purpose at London, but shall perform it by the way. We thank our neighbour. Bradshaw, yours, Richard Green. How likes my love the tenor of this letter? 160. Chapter 1000. Osby, well, were his date completed and expired. Alice, ah, would it were, then comes my happy hour. Till then, my bliss is mixed with bitter gall. Chapter 100. Let us in to shun suspicion. Chapter 1000. Osby, I to the gates of death to follow thee. Chapter 3. Drink, perhaps we ought to read think. Chapter 3. Sturry, this is meant by the starry of the quartos. Chapter 3. Hive, Delius's correction of heave A, B, C. Chapter 3. Deep pateras, Delius conjectures deep-fed airs, but Mr. Gollancz has probably solved the crux of the play by his suggestion. Patera, I take to be some special form of pedar, i.e. petard, probably used in the metaphorical sense of passionate outburst. Lamb's specimens, the use may be quite literal, for the form cf. Powell's Tom of all Trades, p. 163, an engineer for making of patters. Chapter 3, quoted by Bullen as of genuine Shakespearean flavor. He adds minus 130. Chapter 3, Mr. Bullen puts a comma at use. Chapter 3, several editors read my, but the sense is the good turns I have done you. Chapter 3, Warnke explains the quarrel has not yet thickened to so impenetrable offense as to separate us forever. Perhaps we should read, is not thickset ill. Chapter 3, An inconsistency, cf. Holinshed quotes from the letter, we have got a man for our purpose, we may thank my brother Bradshaw. The Wardmote book says nothing of Bradshaw's innocence. Scene 6. Chapter 100, Ountry near Rochester. Here enters Green, Will, and Shakebag. Shakebag, come Will, see thy tools be in a readiness. Chapter 1, S not thy powder dank, or will thy flint strike fire? Will, then ask me if my nose be on my face, or whether my tongue be frozen in my mouth. Zounds, here's a coil. You were best swear me on the interrogatories, how many pistols I have took in hand, or whether I love the smell of gunpowder, or dare abide the noise the dag will make, or will not wink at flashing of the fire 10. Chapter 1, pray thee, Shakebag, let this answer thee, that I have took more purses in this down, than ere thou handledst pistols in thy life. Shakebag, haply thou hast picked more in a throng. But should I brag what booties I have took? Chapter 1, think the overplus that's more than thine would mount to a greater sum of money than either thou or all thy kin are worth. Zounds, I hate them as I hate a toad, that carry a muscato in their tongue 20, and scarce a hurting weapon in their hand. Will, O Green, intolerable. Chapter 1, Tea is not for mine honor to bear this. Why, Shakebag, I did serve the king at Boulogne, and thou canst brag of nothing that thou hast done. Shakebag, why so can Jack of Feversham? That sounded for a fillip on the nose, when he that gave it him hollowed in his ear, and he supposed a cannon bullet hit him. Then they fight. Green, I pray you, sirs, list to Aesop's talk 30. Whilst two stout dogs were striving for a bone, there comes a cur, and stole it from them both. So, while you stand striving on these terms of manhood, Arden escapes us, and deceives us all. Shakebag, why he begun. Will, and thou shalt find I'll end. Chapter 1, do but slip it until better time. But if I do forget. Green, well, take your fittest standings, and once more. Chapter 10, 49, well your twigs to catch this wary bird. Chapter 1, I'll leave you, and at your dags discharge 40. Chapter 1000, ache towards like the longing water dog, that coucheth till the fowling piece be off, then seizeth on the prey with eager mood. Might I see him stretching forth his limbs, as I have seen them beat their wings ere now. Shakebag, why that thou shalt see if he come this way. Green, yes, that he doth, Shakebag, I warrant thee. But brawl not when I am gone in any case. But, sirs, be sure to speed him when he comes. And in that hope, I'll leave you for an hour 50. Here enters Arden, Franklin, and Michael. Chapter 1099, Hail, 'twere best that I went back to Rochester. The horse halts downright, it were not good. He travelled in such pain to Feversham. Removing of a shoe may haply help it. Arden, well, get you back to Rochester, but Sirrah see. Ye o'ertake us ere we come to Rainham down. For tea will be very late ere we get home. Chapter 1099. Hail, aye, God he knows, and so doth Will and Shakespeare, that thou shalt never go further than that down. And therefore have I pricked the horse on purpose, because I would not view the massacre. 61. Arden, come, Master Franklin, onwards with your tale. Franklin, I do assure you, sir, you task me much. A heavy blood is gathered at my heart, and on the sudden is my wind so short, as hindereth the passage of my speech. So fierce a qualm yet ne'er assailed me. Arden, come, Master Franklin, let us go on softly. The annoyance of the dust, or else some meat you ate at dinner, cannot brook with you 70. Chapter 1. Have been often so, and soon amended. Franklin, do you remember where my tale did leave? Arden, aye, where the gentleman did check his wife. Franklin, she being reprehended for the fact. Witness produced that took her with the deed. Her glove brought in which there she left behind. And many other assured arguments. Her husband asked her whether it were not so. Arden, her answer then, I wonder how she looked, having forsworn it with such vehement oaths 80. And at the instant so approved upon her. Franklin, first did she cast her eyes down to the earth, watching the drops that fell aiming from thence. Then softly draws she forth her handkercher, and modestly she wipes her tear-stained face. Them hemmed she out, to clear her voice should seem, and with a majesty addressed herself, to encounter all their accusations. Pardon me, Master Arden, I can no more. This fighting at my heart makes short my wind 90. Arden, come, we are almost now at Rainham down. Your pretty tale beguiles the weary way. Chapter 1. Would you were in state to tell it out. Shakespeare, stand close, Will, I hear them coming. Here enters Lord Cheney with his men. Will, stand to it, Shakespeare, and be resolute. Chapter 50. Cheney, is it so near night as it seems? Or will this black-faced evening have a shower? What, Master Arden, you are well met. Chapter 1. Have longed this fortnight's day to speak with you. You are a stranger man in the Isle of Sheppey. 100. Arden, your honours always, bound to do you service. Chapter 50. Cheney, come you from London, and ne'er a man with you. Arden, my man's coming after, but here's. Chapter 1000. Why, honest friend that came along with me. Chapter 50. Cheney, my Lord Protector's man I take you to be. Franklin, I, my good lord, and highly bound to you. Chapter 50. Cheney, you and your friend come home and sup with me. Arden, I beseech your honour pardon me. Chapter 1. Have made a promise to a gentleman. Chapter 1000. Why, honest friend, to meet him at my house. 110. The occasion is great, or else would I wait on you. Chapter 50. Cheney, will you come tomorrow and dine with me? And bring your honest friend along with you. Chapter 1. Have divers matters to talk with you about. Arden, tomorrow will wait upon your honour. Chapter 50. Cheney, one of you stay my horse at the top of the hill. What, Black Will, for whose purse wait you? Thou wilt be hanged in Kent, when all is done. Will, not hanged, God save your honour. Chapter 1. Am your bedesman, bound to pray for you 120. Chapter 50. Cheney, I think thou ne'er saidst prayer in all thy life. One of you give him a crown. And Sirrah, leave this kind of life. Chapter 1. If thou beest tainted for a penny matter, and come in question, surely thou wilt truss. Come, Master Arden, let us be going. Your way and mine lies 4 miles together. Will, the devil break all your necks at 4 miles end. Zounds, I could kill myself for very anger. His lordship chops me in 130. even when my dag was levelled at his heart. Chapter 1. Would his crown were molten down his throat. Shakespeare, Arden, thou hast wondrous holy luck. Chapter 999. Ever man escape as thou hast done. Well, I'll discharge my pistol at the sky, for by this bullet Arden might not die. Here enters Green. Green, what is he down? Is he dispatched? Shakespeare, I in health towards Feversham to shame us all. Green, the devil he is. Why, sirs, how escaped he? Shakespeare, when we were ready to shoot 140. Chapter 100. Ohms my Lord Cheney to prevent his death. Green, the Lord of heaven hath preserved him. Will, preserved a fig, the Lord Cheney hath preserved him. And bids him to a feast to his house at Shorlow. But by the way, once more I'll meet with him. And, if all the Cheneys in the world say no. Chapter 1. I'll have a bullet in his breast tomorrow. Therefore come, Green, and let us to Feversham. Green, aye, and excuse ourselves to Mistress Arden. Oh, how she'll chafe when she hears of this. 150. Shakespeare, why, I'll warrant you she'll think we dare not do it. Will, why then let us go and tell her all the matter, and plat the news to cut him off tomorrow. Chapter 3. Shorlow should be Shurland and Sheppy. Act 4. Scene 1. Arden's house at Feversham. Here enters Arden and his wife, Franklin and Michael. Arden, see how the hours, the garden of heaven's gate, have by their toil removed the darksome clouds, that Saul may well discern the trampled path, wherein he want to guide his golden car. The season fits. Come, Franklin, let's away. Alice, I thought you did pretend some special hunt, that made you thus cut short the time of rest. Arden, it was no chase that made me rise so early, but, as I told thee yesternight, to go to the Isle of Sheppy, there to dine with my Lord Cheney. 10. For so his honour late commanded me. Alice, I, such kind husbands seldom want excuses. Home is a wild cat to a wandering wit. The time hath been, would God it were not past, that honour's title, nor a lord's command. Chapter 100. Would once have drawn you from these arms of mine, but my deserts or your desires decay, or both, yet if true love may seem desert. Chapter 1. Merit still to have thy company. Franklin, why, I pray you, sir, let her go along with us. Chapter 1. Am sure his honour will welcome her, and us the more for bringing her along. Arden, content. Sirrah, saddle your mistress, nag. Alice, no, begged favour merits little thanks. Chapter 1. If I should go, our house would run away, or else be stolen, therefore I'll stay behind. Arden, nay, see how mistaking you are. I pray thee go. Alice, no, no, not now. Arden, then let me leave thee satisfied in this. That time, nor place nor persons alter me 30. But that I hold thee dearer than my life. Alice, that will be seen by your quick return. Arden, and that shall be ere night, and if I live. Farewell, sweet Alice, we mind to sup with thee. Exit Alice. Franklin, come, Michael, are our horses ready? Chapter 1099. Hail, I your horse are ready, but I am not ready, for I have lost my purse, with 36 shillings in it, with taking up of my master's nag. Franklin, why, I pray you, let us go before, whilst he stays behind, to seek his purse 40. Arden, go to Sirrah, see you follow us to the Isle of Sheppy, to my Lord Cheney's, where we mean to dine. Chapter 1099. Hail, so fair weather after you, for before you lies Blackwell and Shakespeare in the broom close, 2. Chapter 150. Ose for you, they'll be your ferrymen along home. Here enters the painter. But who is this? The painter, my corrival, that would needs win Mistress Susan. Chapter 150. Ark, how now, Michael, how doth my mistress and all at home? Chapter 1099. Hail, who? Susan Mosby, she is your mistress too. Chapter 150, Ark, Ay, how doth she and all the rest. Chapter 1099, Hail, all's well but Susan, she is sick. Chapter 150, Ark, sick, of what disease? Chapter 1099, Hail, of a great fever. Chapter 150, Ark, a fear of what? Chapter 1099, Hail, a great fever. Chapter 150, Ark, a fever, God forbid. Chapter 1099, Hail, yes, faith, and of a lording too, as big as yourself. Chapter 150, Ark, O Michael, the spleen prickles you, go to. You carry an eye over Mistress Susan 60. Chapter 1099, Hail, I faith to keep her from the painter. Chapter 150, Ark, why more from a painter than from a serving? Chapter 100, Reacher like yourself. Chapter 1099, Hail, because you painters make but a painting. Table of a pretty wench, and spoil her beauty with blotting. Chapter 150, Ark, what mean you by that? Chapter 1099, Hail, why that you painters paint lambs in the lining of wenches, petticoats, and we serving men put horns to them, to make them become sheep 70. Chapter 150, Ark, such another word will cost you a cuff or a knock. Chapter 1099, Hail, what with a dagger made of a pencil, faith. T's too weak, and therefore thou too weak to win. Susan. Chapter 150, Ark, would Susan's love lay upon this stroke? Here enters Mosby, Green, and Alice. Alice, I'll lay my life, this is for Susan's love. Stayed you behind your master to this end? Have you no other time to brable in? But now when serious matters are in hand. Say, clerk, hast thou done the thing thou promised? 80. Chapter 150, Ark, ay, here it is, the very touch is death. Alice, then this I hope, if all the rest do fail, will catch Master Arden, and make him wise in death that lived a fool. Why should he thrust his sickle in our corn? Or what hath he to do with thee, my love? Or govern me, that am to rule myself? Forsooth, for credit's sake, I must leave thee. Nay, he must leave to live that we may love. Chapter 1000, I live may love, for what is life but love? 90. And love shall last as long as life remains, and life shall end before my love depart. Chapter 1000, Osby, why, what is love without true constancy? Chapter 51, Key to a pillar built of many stones, yet neither with good mortar well compact, nor with cement to fasten it in the joints, but that it shakes with every blast of wind, and being touched, straight falls unto the earth, and buries all his haughty pride in dust. No, let our love be rocks of adamant 100, which time nor place, nor tempest can asunder. Green, Mosby, leave protestations now, and let us bethink us what we have to do. Blackwell and Shakebag I have placed I the broom. Chapter 150, Os watching Arden's coming, let's to them, and see what they have done. Chapter 4, Gardent, A. B. Red Gardient, Modern Editors Guardians. Chapter 4, Path, so warnk for pace of A, B, C, but pace in the sense of path is not impossible. Chapter 4, Desires, so warnk for deserves A, B, C. Chapter 4, A certain broom close betwixt Feversham and the ferry, Holinshed. Chapter 4, Cf. Ecclesiastes. Chapter 4, Nor with cement, Delius for nor semel A, B. Scene 2. The Kentish coast, opposite the Isle of Sheppey. Here enters Arden and Franklin. Arden, O ferryman, where art thou? Here enters the ferryman. Ferryman, here, go before to the boat, and I will follow you. Arden, we have great haste, I pray thee come away. Ferryman, fie, what a mist is here. Arden, this mist, my friend, is mystical. Chapter 51, Key to a good companion's smoky brain. That was half drowned with new ale overnight. Ferryman, tweer pity but his skull were opened too. Chapter 1000, Akemore Chimney Room 10. Franklin, friend, what's thy opinion of this mist? Ferryman, I think tea's like to a cursed wife in a little house that never leaves her husband till she have. Chapter 500, riven him out at doors with a wet pair of eyes. Then looks he as if his house were afire, or some of his friends dead. Arden, speak'st thou this of thine own experience? Ferryman, perhaps I, perhaps no, for my wife is as other women are, that is to say, governed by the. Chapter 1000, 20. Franklin, by the moon, how I pray thee. Ferryman, nay, thereby lies a bargain, and you shall not have it fresh and fasting. Arden, yes, I pray thee, good Ferryman. Ferryman, then for this once, let it be midsummer. Chapter 1000, but yet my wife has another moon. Franklin, another moon. Ferryman, aye, and it hath influences and eclipses. Arden, why then by this reckoning you sometimes play the man and the moon, 30. Ferryman, aye, but you had not best to meddle with that moon, lest I scratch you by the face with my bramblebush. Arden, I am almost stifled with this fog, come, let's away. Franklin, and Sirrah, as we go, let us have some more of your bold yeomanry. Ferryman, nay, by my troth, sir, but flat knavery. Chapter 4, this mist is not in Holinshed, it is our poet's invention. Chapter 4, cf. Midsummer Night's Dream, v. etc. Scene 3. Another place on the coast. Here enters Will at one door, and Shakebag at another. Shakebag, O Will, where art thou? Will, here's Shakebag almost in hell's mouth, where I. Chapter 100, Annot see my way for smoke. Shakebag, I pray thee speak still that we may meet by the sound, for I shall fall into some ditch or other, unless my feet see better than my eyes. Will, didst thou ever see better whether to run away with another man's wife, or play with a wench at Potfinger, 9. Shakebag, no, this were a fine world for chandlers, if this weather would last, for then a man should never dine nor sup without candlelight, but Sirrah Will, what horses are those that passed? Will, why, didst thou hear any? Shakebag, I that I did. Will, my life for thine, 'twas Arden and his companion, and then all our labours lost. Shakebag, nay, say not so, for if it be they, they may haply lose their way as we have done, and then we. Chapter 1000, I chance meet with them 20. Will, come, let us go on like a couple of blind pilgrims. Shakebag, help, Will, help, I am almost drowned. Here enters the ferryman. Ferryman, who's that calls for help? Will, 'twas none here, 'twas thou thyself. Ferryman, I came to help him that called for help. Why, how now, who is this that's in the ditch? You are well enough served to go without a guide. Such weather as this. Will, Sirrah, what companies hath passed your ferry? This morning, 30. Ferryman, none but a couple of gentlemen that went to dine at my Lord Cheney's. Will, Shakebag, did not I tell thee as much? Ferryman, why, sir, will you have any letters carried to them? Will, no, sir, get you gone. Ferryman, did you ever see such a mist as this? Will, no, nor such a fool as will rather be hot than get his way. Ferryman, why, sir, this is no home Monday, you are deceived. What's his name, I pray you, sir? 41. Shakebag, his name is Black Will. Ferryman, I hope to see him one day hanged upon a hill. Shakebag, see how the sun hath cleared the foggy mist. Now we have missed the mark of our intent. Here enters Green, Mosby, and Alice. Chapter 1000, Osby, Blackwell and Shakebag, what make you here? What is the deed done? Is Arden dead? Will, what could a blinded man perform in arms? Saw you not how, till now the sky was dark 50, that neither horse nor man could be discerned. Yet did we hear their horses as they passed. Green, have they escaped you then and passed the ferry? Shakebag, I for a while, but here we too will stay. And at their coming back meet with them once more. Zounds, I was ne'er so twalled in all my life. Chapter 1. In following so slight a task as this. Chapter 1000. Osby, how cam'st thou so bewrayed? Will, with making false footing in the dark. He needs would follow them, without a guide 60. Alice, here est to pay for a fire and good cheer. Get you to Feversham to the Flower de Luce. And rest yourselves until some other time. Green, let me alone, it most concerns my state. Will, I, Mistress Arden, this will serve the turn. Chapter 1. In case we fall into a second fog. Chapter 1000. Osby, these knaves will never do it, let us give it over. Alice, first tell me how you like my new device. Soon, when my husband is returning back. You and I both marching arm in arm 70. Chapter 51. Key-loving friends will meet him on the way, and boldly beard and brave him to his teeth. When words grow hot and blows begin to rise. Chapter 1. I'll call those cutters forth your tenement, who, in a manner to take up the fray, shall wound my husband Hornsby to the death. Chapter 1000. Osby, a fine device, why this deserves a kiss. Chapter 4. Hawk Monday followed the second Sunday after Easter. See Brand's Popular Antiquities. Chapter 4. Our poet blackens Mosby for the same reason that he whitewashes Arden, e.g. Master Arden both then and at other times had been greatly provoked by Mosby to fight with him, but he would not. Mosby at the first would not agree to that cowardly murdering of him. Holinshed. Scene 4. The open country. Here enters Dick Reed and a sailor. Sailor, faith, Dick Reed, it is to little end. His conscience is too liberal, and he too niggardly. To part from anything may do thee good. Reed, he is coming from Shorlow, as I understand. Here I'll intercept him, for at his house he never will vouchsafe to speak with me. Chapter 1. F. Prayers and fair entreaties will not serve, or make no battery in his flinty breast. Here enters Franklin, Arden, and Michael. Chapter 1. I'll curse the carle and see what that will do. See where he comes to further my intent. 10. Chapter 1000. Aster Arden, I am now bound to the sea. Chapter 1000. Why coming to you was about the plat of ground which wrongfully you detain from me. Although the rent of it be very small, yet it will help my wife and children, which here I leave in Feversham, God knows. Needy and bare, for Christ's sake let them have it. Arden, Franklin, hearest thou this fellow speak? That which he craves, I dearly bought of him, although the rent of it was ever mine. 20. Sirrah, you that ask these questions. Chapter 1. F. With thy clamorous impeaching tongue, thou rail on me, as I have heard thou dost. Chapter 1. I'll lay thee up so close a 12 months' day, as thou shalt neither see the sun nor moon. Chapter 50. Ook to it, for as surely as I live. Chapter 1. I'll banish pity if thou use me thus. Read, what wilt thou do me wrong and threat me too? Nay then, I'll tempt thee, Arden, do thy worst. God, I beseech thee, show some miracle 30. On thee or thine, in plaguing thee for this. That plot of ground, which thou detains from me. Chapter 1. Speak it in an agony of spirit. Be ruinous and fatal unto thee. Either there be butchered by thy dearest friends, or else be brought for men to wonder at, or thou or thine miscarry in that place, or there run mad and end thy cursed days. Franklin, fie, bitter knave, bridle thine envious tongue. For curses are like arrows shot upright 40, which falling down light on the shooter's head. Read, light where they will, were I upon the sea, as oft I have in many a bitter storm, and saw a dreadful southern flaw at hand, the pilot quaking at the doubtful storm, and all the sailors praying on their knees. Even in that fearful time would I fall down, and ask of God, whate'er betide of me. Chapter 5. Ingeance on Arden or some misevent, to show the world what wrong the carle hath done. This charge I'll leave with my distressful wife. 51. Chapter 1000. Why children shall be taught such prayers as these. And thus I go, but leave my curse with thee. Arden, it is the railingest knave in Christendom, and oftentimes the villain will be mad. Chapter 1. T greatly matters not what he says, but I assure you I ne'er did him wrong. Franklin, I think so, Master Arden. Arden, now that our horses are gone home before. Chapter 1000. Why wife may haply meet me on the way 60. For God knows she is grown passing kind of late, and greatly changed from the old humor of her wonted frowardness, and seeks by fair means to redeem old faults. Franklin, happy the change that alters for the best. But see, in any case you make no speech of the cheer we had at my Lord Cheney's, although most bounteous and liberal, for that will make her think herself more wronged. Chapter 1. And that we did not carry her along. 70. For sure she grieved that she was left behind. Arden, come Franklin, let us strain to mend our pace, and take her unawares playing the cook. Here enters Alice and Mosby, for I believe she'll strive to mend our cheer. Franklin, why, there's no better creatures in the world than women are when they are in good humors. Arden, who is that? Mosby, what so familiar? Chapter 1. Injurious strumpet, and thou ribald knave, untwine those arms. Alice, I with a sugared kiss let them untwine 80. Arden, ah Mosby, perjured beast, bear this and all. Chapter 1000. Osby, and yet no horned beast, the horns are thine. Franklin, O monstrous, nay then it is time to draw. Alice, help, help, they murder my husband. Here enters Will and Shakebag. Shakebag, zounds, who injures Master Mosby? Help, Will, I am hurt. Chapter 1000. Osby, I may thank you, Mistress Arden, for this wound. Alice, ah Arden, what folly blinded thee? Ah, jealous harebrained man, what hast thou done? When we, to welcome thee with intended sport. Chapter 100. Aim lovingly to meet thee on thy way 90. Thou drewst he thy sword, enraged with jealousy, and hurt thy friend, whose thoughts were free from harm. All for a worthless kiss and joining arms. Both done but merrily to try thy patience, and me unhappy that devised the jest, which, though begun in sport, yet ends in blood. Franklin, Mary, God defend me from such a jest. Alice, couldst thou not see us friendly smile on thee, when we joined arms, and when I kissed his cheek? Hast thou not lately found me overkind? 100. Chapter 999. Sin't thou not hear me cry, they murder thee? Chapter 100. All I not help to set my husband free. No, ears and all were witched, me accursed, to link in liking with a frantic man. Henceforth I'll be thy slave, no more thy wife, for with that name I never shall content thee. Chapter 1. If I be merry, thou straightways thinkst me light. Chapter 1. If sad, thou sayest the sullens trouble me. Chapter 1. If well attired, thou thinks I will be gadding. Chapter 1. If homely, I seem sluttish in thine eye. 110. Thus am I still, and shall be while I die. Poor wench abused by thy misgovernment. Arden, but is it for truth that neither thou nor he? Chapter 1. Intendedst malice in your misdemeanor. Alice, the heavens can witness of our harmless thoughts. Arden, then pardon me, sweet Alice, and forgive this fault. Forget but this, and never see the like. Chapter 999. Pose me penance, and I will perform it. For in thy discontent I find a death tormenting more than death itself. 120. Alice, nay, hadst thou loved me as thou dost pretend, thou wouldst have marked the speeches of thy friend, who going wounded from the place, he said, his skin was pierced only through my device. And if sad sorrow taint thee for this fault, thou wouldst have followed him, and seen him dressed, and cried him mercy, whom thou hast misdone. Ne'er shall my heart be eased till this be done. Arden, content thee, sweet Alice, thou shalt have thy will. Whate'er it be, for that I injured thee 130, and wronged my friend, shame scourgeth my offence. Chapter 100. Own thou thyself, and go along with me, and be a mediator twixt us two. Franklin, why, Master Arden, know you what you do? Will you follow him that hath dishonored you? Alice, why canst thou prove I have been disloyal? Franklin, why Mosby taunted your husband with the horn? Alice, I, after he had reviled him by the injurious name of perjured beast. He knew no wrong could spite a jealous man. 140. Chapter 1000. Or than the hateful naming of the horn. Franklin, suppose 'tis true, yet is it dangerous to follow him whom he hath lately hurt? Alice, a fault confessed is more than half amends. But men of such ill spirit as yourself work crosses and debates twixt man and wife. Arden, I pray thee, gentle Franklin, hold thy peace. Chapter 1. Know my wife counsels me for the best. Chapter 1. I'll seek out Mosby where his wound is dressed, and salve this hapless quarrel, if I may. 150. Franklin, he whom the devil drives must go perforce. Poor gentleman, how soon he is bewitched. And yet, because his wife is the instrument, his friends must not be lavish in their speech. Chapter 4. Harebrain ABC. Chapter 4. Welcome thee with intended, so warnk for welcome thy intended. ABC. Act 5. Scene 1. A street in Feversham. Here enters Will, Shakebag and Green. Will, Sirrah Green, when was I so long in killing a man? Green, I think we shall never do it, let us give it over. Shakebag, nay zounds, we'll kill him though we be hanged at his door for our labor. Will, thou knowest, Green, that I have lived in London this 12 years, where I have made some go upon wooden legs for taking the wall on me, divers with silver noses for saying, there goes Black Will. Chapter 1. Have cracked as many blades as thou hast nuts. Green, O monstrous lie. 10. Will, faith in a manner I have, the bawdy houses have paid me tribute, there durst not a whore set up, unless she have agreed with me first for opening her shop windows, for a cross word of a tapster. Chapter 1. Have pierced one barrel after another with my. Chapter 500. Agar, and held him by the ears till all his beer hath run out. In Thames Street a brewer's cart was like to have run over me. I made no more ado, but went to the clerk, and cut all the notches of his tallies and beat them about his head. I and my. Chapter 100. Ompany have taken the constable from his watch, and carried him about the fields on a colt staff. I have broken a sergeant's head with his own mace, and bylaid whom I list with my sword and buckler. All the 10-penny alehouses men would stand every. Chapter 1000. Orning with a quart pot in their hand, saying, Will it please your worship drink? He that had not done so had been sure to have had his sign pulled down, and his lattice borne away the next night. To conclude, what have I not done yet? Chapter 100. Annot do this, doubtless he is preserved by. Chapter 1001. Rackle, 32. Here enters Alice and Michael. Green, hence Will, here comes Mistress Arden. Alice, ah, gentle Michael, art thou sure they're friends? Chapter 1099. Hail, why I saw them when they both shook hands. When Mosby bled, he even wept for sorrow. and railed on Franklin that was cause of all. No sooner came the surgeon in at doors, but my master took to his purse and gave him money, and, to conclude, sent me to bring you word 40, that Mosby, Franklin Bradshaw Adam Fowle, with divers of his neighbors and his friends, will come and sup with you at our house this night. Alice, gentle Michael, run thou back again. And, when my husband walks into the fair, bid Mosby steal from him and come to me. And this night shall thou and Susan be made sure. Chapter 1099. Hail, I'll go tell him. Alice, and as thou goest, tell John Cook of our guests, and bid him lay it on, spare for no cost 50. Exit Michael. Will, nay, and there be such cheer, we will bid ourselves. Chapter 1001. Stress Arden, Dick Green and I do mean to sup with you. Alice, and welcome shall you be. Gentlemen, how missed you of your purpose yesternight? Green, 'twas long of Shakebag, that unlucky villain. Shakebag, thou dost me wrong, I did as much as any. Will, nay then, Mistress Arden, I'll tell you how it was. When he should have locked with both his hilts, he in a bravery flourished o'er his head. With that comes Franklin at him, lustily 60, and hurts the slave, with that he slinks away. Now his way had been to have come hand and feet. 1 and 2 round at his costard, he like a fool bears his sword point half a yard out of danger. Chapter 1. Lie here for my life. If the devil come and he have no more strength than I have fence, he shall never beat me from this ward, I'll stand to it. Buckler in a skillful hand is as good as a castle. Nay, 'tis better than a sconce, for I have tried it 70. Chapter 1000. Osby, perceiving this, began to faint. With that comes Arden with his arming sword, and thrust him through the shoulder in a trice. Alice, aye, but I wonder why you both stood still. Will, faith, I was so amazed I could not strike. Alice, sirs, had he yesternight been slain, for every drop of his detested blood. Chapter 1. Would have crammed in angels in thy fist, and kissed thee too, and hugged thee in my arms. Will, patient yourself, we cannot help it now 80. Green and we too will dog him through the fair, and stab him in the crowd, and steal away. Here enters Mosby. Alice, it is impossible, but here comes he. That will, I hope, invent some surer means. Sweet Mosby, hide thy arm, it kills my heart. Chapter 1000. Osby, I, Mistress Arden, this is your favor. Alice, say not so, for when I saw thee hurt. Chapter 1. Could have took the weapon thou lett'st fall, and run at Arden, for I have sworn that these mine eyes, offended with his sight 90, shall never close till Arden's be shut up. This night I rose and walked about the chamber, and twice or thrice I thought to have murdered him. Chapter 1000. Osby, what in the night, then had we been undone? Alice, why, how long shall he live? Chapter 1000. Osby, faith, Alice, no longer than this night. Blackwell and Shakebag, will you two perform the complot that I have laid? Will, I, or else think me a villain. Green, and rather than you shall want, I'll help myself. Chapter 1000. Osby, you, Master Green, shall single Franklin forth, and hold him with a long tale of strange news, 102, that he may not come home till supper time. Chapter 1. I'll fetch Master Arden home, and we like friends. We'll play a game or two at tables here. Alice, but what of all this? How shall he be slain? Chapter 1000. Osby, why, Blackwell and Shakebag locked within the counting-house. Shall at a certain watchword given rush forth? Will, what shall the watchword be? Chapter 1000. Osby, now I take you, that shall be the word 110. But come not forth before in any case. Will, I warrant you, but who shall lock me in? Alice, that will I do, thou'st keep the key thyself. Chapter 1000. Osby, Come, Master Green, go you along with me. See all things ready, Alice, against we come. Alice, take no care for that, send you him home. And if he e'er go forth again, blame me. Chapter 100. Black Will, that in mine eyes art fair. Next unto Mosby do I honor thee. Chapter 1. Instead of fair words and large promises 120. Chapter 1000. Why hands shall play you golden harmony. How like you this? Say, will you do it, sirs? Will, I, and that bravely too, mark my device. Place Mosby, being a stranger, in a chair, and let your husband sit upon a stool, that I may come behind him cunningly, and with a towel pull him to the ground, then stab him till his flesh be as a sieve. That done, bear him behind the abbey, that those that find him murdered may suppose 130. Some slave or other killed him for his gold. Alice, a fine device, you shall have 20 pound. And when he is dead, you shall have 40 more. And, lest you might be suspected staying here. Chapter 1099. Hale shall saddle you 2 lusty geldings. Ride whither you will, to Scotland or to Wales. Chapter 1. I'll see you shall not lack where'er you be. Will, such words would make one kill 1,000 men. Give me the key, which is the counting house. Alice, here would I stay and still encourage you, 140. But that I know how resolute you are. Shakebag, tush, you are too faint-hearted, we must do it. Alice, but Mosby will be there, whose very looks will add unwonted courage to my thought, and make me the first that shall adventure on him. Will, tush, get you gone. Tease, we must do the deed. When this door opens next, look for his death. Exeunt Will and Shakebag. Alice, would he now were here that it might open. Chapter 1. Shall no more be closed in Arden's arms. That like the snakes of black Tisiphone, 150. Sting me with their embracings, Mosby's arms shall compass me, and were I made a star. Chapter 1. Would have none other spheres but those. There is no nectar, but in Mosby's lips. Had chaste Diana kissed him, she like me would grow love-sick, and from her watery bower fling down Endymion, and snatch him up. Then blame not me that slay a silly man, not half so lovely as Endymion. Here enters Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, mistress, my master is coming hard by 160. Alice, who comes with him. Chapter 1099. Hail, nobody but Mosby. Alice, that's well, Michael. Fetch in the tables, and when thou hast done, stand before the counting-house door. Chapter 1099. Hail, why so? Alice, Black Will is locked within to do the deed. Chapter 1099. Hail, what, shall he die tonight? Alice, I, Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, but shall not Susan know it? Alice, yes, for she'll be as secret as ourselves, 170. Chapter 1099. Hail, that's brave, I'll go fetch the tables. Alice, but Michael, hark to me a word or two. When my husband is come in, lock the street door. He shall be murdered, or the guests come in. Here enters Arden and Mosby. Husband, what mean you to bring Mosby home? Although I wished you to be reconciled, 'twas more for fear of you than love of him. Black Will and Green are his companions, and they are cutters, and may cut you short. Therefore, I thought it good to make you friends 180. But wherefore do you bring him hither now? You have given me my supper with his sight. Chapter 1000. Osby, Master Arden, methinks your wife would have me gone. Arden, no, good Master Mosby, women will be prating. Alice, bid him welcome, he and I are friends. Alice, you may enforce me to it if you will. But I had rather die than bid him welcome. His company hath purchased me ill friends, and therefore will I ne'er frequent it more. Chapter 1000. Osby, oh, how cunningly she can dissemble, 190. Arden, now he is here, you will not serve me so. Alice, I pray you be not angry or displeased. Chapter 1. I'll bid him welcome, seeing you'll have it so. You are welcome, Master Mosby. Will you sit down? Chapter 1000. Osby, I know I am welcome to your loving husband. But for yourself, you speak not from your heart. Alice, and if I do not, sir, think I have cause. Chapter 1000. Osby, pardon me, Master Arden, I'll away. Arden, no, good Master Mosby. Alice, we shall have guests enough, though you go hence 200. Chapter 1000. Osby, I pray you, Master Arden, let me go. Arden, I pray thee, Mosby, let her prate her fill. Alice, the doors are open, sir, you may be gone. Chapter 1099. Hail, nay, that's a lie, for I have locked the doors. Arden, Sirrah, fetch me a cup of wine, I'll make them friends. And gentle Mistress Alice, seeing you are so stout. You shall begin, frown not, I'll have it so. Alice, I pray you meddle with that you have to do. Arden, why, Alice, how can I do too much for him? Whose life I have endangered without cause. 210. Alice, 'tis true, and seeing 'twas partly through my means. Chapter 1. I'm content to drink to him for this once. Here, Master Mosby, and I pray you henceforth. Be you as strange to me as I to you. Your company hath purchased me ill friends. And I for you, God knows, have undeserved. Been ill spoken of in every place. Therefore henceforth frequent my house no more. Chapter 1000. Osby, I'll see your husband in despite of you. Yet, Arden, I protest to thee by heaven 220. Thou ne'er shalt see me more after this night. Chapter 1. I'll go to Rome rather than be forsworn. Arden, tush, I'll have no such vows made in my house. Alice, yes, I pray you, husband, let him swear. And on that condition, Mosby, pledge me here. Chapter 1000. Osby, I, as willingly as I mean to live. Arden, come, Alice, is our supper ready yet? Alice, it will by then you have played a game at tables. Arden, come, Master Mosby, what shall we play for? Chapter 1000. Osby, 3 games for a French crown, sir, and please you 230. Arden, content. Will, can he not take him yet? What a spite is that? Alice, not yet, Will, take heed he see thee not. Will, I fear he will spy me as I am coming. Chapter 1099. Hail, to prevent that creep betwixt my legs. Chapter 1000. Osby, 1 ace, or else I lose the game. Arden, marry, sir, there's 2 for failing. Chapter 1000. Osby, ah, Master Arden, now I can take you. Arden, Mosby, Michael, Alice, what will you do? Will, nothing but take you up, sir, nothing else 240. Chapter 1000. Osby, there's for the pressing iron you told me of. Stabs him. Shake bag, and there's for the 10 pound in my sleeve. Alice, what, groans thou? Nay, then give me the weapon. Take this for hindering Mosby's love and mine. Chapter 1099. Hail, O mistress. Will, ah, that villain will betray us all. Chapter 1000. Osby, tush, fear him not, he will be secret. Chapter 1099. Hail, why dost thou think I will betray myself? Shakebag, in Southwark dwells a bonny northern lass. The widow Chamley, I'll to her house now 250. And if she will not give me Harborough. Chapter 1. I'll make booty of the queen even to her smock. Will, shift for yourselves, we 2 will leave you now. Alice, first lay the body in the counting house. Will, we have our gold, Mistress Alice, adieu. Chapter 1000. Osby, farewell, and Michael, farewell too. Enter Susan. Susan, mistress, the guests are at the doors. Hearken, they knock, what shall I let them in? Alice, Mosby, go thou and bear them company. And Susan, fetch water and wash away this blood. Susan, the blood cleaveth to the ground and will not out 261. Alice, but with my nails I'll scrape away the blood. The more I strive, the more the blood appears. Susan, what's the reason, mistress, can you tell? Alice, because I blush not at my husband's death. Here enters Mosby. Chapter 1000. Usby, how now, what's the matter, is all well? Alice, I well if Arden were alive again. Chapter 1. In vain we strive, for here his blood remains. Chapter 1000. Osby, why strew rushes on it, can you not? This wench doth nothing, fall into the work 270. Alice, 'twas thou that made me murder him. Chapter 1000. Osby, what of that? Alice, nay, nothing, Mosby, so it be not known. Chapter 1000. Osby, keep thou it close and tease unpossible. Alice, ah, but I cannot. Was he not slain by me? Chapter 1000. Why husband's death torments me at the heart. Chapter 1000. Osby, it shall not long torment thee, gentle Alice. Chapter 1. Am thy husband, think no more of him. Here enters Adam Fowle and Bradshaw. Bradshaw, how now, Mistress Arden, what ail you weep? Chapter 1000. Osby, because her husband is abroad so late 280. A couple of ruffians threatened him yesternight, and she, poor soul, is afraid he should be hurt. Adam is nothing else. Tush, he'll be here anon. Here enters Green. Green, now Mistress Arden, lack you any guests? Alice, ah, Master Green, did you see my husband lately? Green, I saw him walking behind the abbey even now. Here enters Franklin. Alice, I do not like this being out so late. Chapter 1000. Aster Franklin, where did you leave my husband? Franklin, believe me, I saw him not since morning. Fear you not, he'll come anon. Meantime 290. You may do well to bid his guests sit down. Alice, aye, so they shall. Master Bradshaw, sit you there. Chapter 1. Pray you be content, I'll have my will. Chapter 1000. Aster Mosby, sit you in my husband's seat. Chapter 1099. Hail, Susan, shall thou and I wait on them? Or, and thou sayest the word, let us sit down too. Susan, peace, we have other matters now in hand. Chapter 1. Fear me, Michael, all will be bewrayed. Chapter 1099. Hail, tush, so it be known that I shall marry thee. Chapter 1. In the morning I care not though I be hanged ere night, but to prevent the worst, I'll buy some ratsbane 301. Susan, why, Michael, wilt thou poison thyself? Chapter 1099. Hail, no, but my mistress, for I fear she'll tell. Susan, tush, Michael, fear not her, she's wise enough. Chapter 1000. Osby, Sirrah Michael gives a cup of beer. Chapter 1001. Stress Arden, here's to your husband. Alice, my husband. Franklin, what ails you, woman, to cry so suddenly? Alice, ah, neighbors, a sudden qualm came o'er my heart. Chapter 1000. Why husband being forth torments my mind 310. Chapter 1. Know something's amiss, he is not well. Or else, I should have heard of him ere now. Chapter 1000. Osby, she will undo us through her foolishness. Green, fear not, Mistress Arden, he's well enough. Alice, tell not me, I know he is not well. He was not wont for to stay thus late. Good Master Franklin, go and seek him forth. And if you find him, send him home to me. And tell him what a fear he hath put me in. Franklin, I like not this, I pray God all be well 320. Chapter 1. I'll seek him out and find him if I can. Alice, Michael, how shall I do to rid the rest away? Chapter 1099. Hail, leave that to my charge, let me alone. 'Tis very late, Master Bradshaw. And there are many false knaves abroad. And you have many narrow lanes to pass. Bradshaw, faith, friend Michael, and thou sayest true. Therefore I pray thee lights forth, and lends a link. Alice, Michael, bring them to the doors, but do not stay. You know I do not love to be alone 330. Go, Susan, and bid thy brother come. But wherefore should he come? Here is naught but fear. Stay, Susan, stay and help to counsel me. Susan, alas, I counsel, fear frights away my wits. Then they open the counting-house door, and look upon Arden. Alice, see, Susan, where thy quondam master lies. Sweet Arden, smeared in blood and filthy gore. Susan, my brother you, and I shall rue this deed. Alice, come, Susan, help to lift his body forth, and let our salt tears be his obsequies. Here enters Mosby and Green. Chapter 1000. Osby, how now, Alice, whither will you bear him? Alice, sweet Mosby, art thou come? Then weep that will. Chapter 1. Have my wish in that I joy thy sight 342. Green, well, it behoves us to be circumspect. Chapter 1000. Osby, aye, for Franklin thinks that we have murdered him. Alice, aye, but he cannot prove it for his life. We'll spend this night in dalliance and in sport. Here enters Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, O mistress, the mayor and all the watch are coming towards our house with glaves and bills. Alice, make the door fast, let them not come in. Chapter 1000. Osby, tell me, sweet Alice, how shall I escape? 350. Alice, out at the back door over the pile of wood, and for one night lie at the Flower de Luce. Chapter 1000. Osby, that is the next way to betray myself. Green, alas, Mistress Arden, the watch will take me hers, and cause suspicion, where else would be none. Alice, why, take that way that Master Mosby doth, but first convey the body to the fields. Chapter 1000. Osby, until tomorrow, sweet Alice, now farewell, and see you confess nothing in any case. Green, be resolute, Mistress Alice, betray us not 360, but cleave to us as we will stick to you. Alice, now let the judge and juries do their worst. Chapter 1000. Why house is clear, and now I fear them not. Susan, as we went it snowed all the way, which makes me fear our footsteps will be spied. Alice, peace, fool, the snow will cover them again. Susan, but it had done before we came back again. Alice, hark, hark, they knock. Go, Michael, let them in. Here enters the mayor and the watch. How now, Master Mayor, have you brought my husband home? Chapter 1000. Ire, I saw him come into your house an hour ago 370. Alice, you are deceived, it was a Londoner. Chapter 1000. Ire, Mistress Arden, know you not one that is called Black Will? Alice, I know none such. What mean these questions? Chapter 1000. Ire, I have the council's warrant to apprehend him. Alice, I am glad it is no worse. Why, Master Mayor, think you I harbor any such? Chapter 1000. Ire, we are informed that here he is, and therefore pardon us, for we must search. Alice, I search and spare you not through every room. Were my husband at home, you would not offer this 380. Here enters Franklin. Chapter 1000. Aster Franklin, what mean you come so sad? Franklin, Arden, thy husband and my friend, is slain. Alice, ah, by whom? Master Franklin, can you tell? Franklin, I know not, but behind the abbey. There he lies murdered in most piteous case. Chapter 1000. Ire, but Master Franklin, are you sure 'tis he? Franklin, I am too sure. Would God I were deceived. Alice, find out the murderers, let them be known. Franklin, aye, so they shall. Come you along with us. Alice, wherefore? 390. Franklin, know you this hand towel and this knife? Susan, ah, Michael, through this thy negligence, thou hast betrayed and undone us all. Chapter 1099. Hail, I was so afraid I knew not what I did. Chapter 1. Thought I had thrown them both into the well. Alice, it is the pig's blood we had to supper. But wherefore stay you? Find out the murderers. Chapter 1000. Ire, I fear me you'll prove one of them yourself. Alice, I one of them. What mean such questions? Franklin, I fear me he was murdered in this house 400. And carried to the fields, For from that place, backwards and forwards may you see the print of many feet within the snow. And look about this chamber where we are, and you shall find part of his guiltless blood. For in his slipshoe did I find some rushes, which argueth he was murdered in this room. Chapter 1000. Ire, look in the place where he was wont to sit. See, his blood, it is too manifest. Alice, it is a cup of wine that Michael shed for 10. Chapter 1099. Hail, aye truly. Franklin, it is his blood which strumpet thou hast shed. But if I live, thou and thy complices, which have conspired and wrought his death, shall rue it. Alice, Master Franklin, God in heaven can tell. Chapter 1. Loved him more than all the world beside. But bring me to him, let me see his body. Franklin, bring that villain and Mosby's sister too. And one of you go to the Flowerdy Luce, and seek for Mosby, and apprehend him 2420. Chapter 5. Hilts is common for hilt, e.g. in Malory and Shakespeare. Both his hilts is apparently an extension of this use. Locked I take to mean crossed or clashed swords with his adversary. Chapter 5. Game or two at tables, a sort of backgammon. Chapter 5. Cf. The concluding lines of Ovid's elegy already alluded to. Chapter 5. Cecily Pounders did help to bear the dead corpse out into a meadow there, commonly called the Amory Croft. Wardmote book. Scene 2. An obscure street in London. Here enters Shakebag Solus. Shakebag, the widow Chamely in her husband's days I kept. And now he's dead, she has grown so stout. She will not know her old companions. Chapter 1. Came thither thinking to have had harbour, as I was wont, and she was ready to thrust me out at doors. But whether she would or no, I got me up. And as she followed me, I spurned her down the stairs, and broke her neck, and cut her tapster's throat. And now I am going to fling them in the Thames. Chapter 1. Have the gold, what care I though it be known. Chapter 1. I'll cross the water and take sanctuary. Scene 3. Arden's house at Feversham. Here enters the mayor, Mosby, Alice, Franklin, Michael, and Susan. Chapter 1000. Ire, see, Mistress Arden, where your husband lies. Chapter 100. Confess this foul fault and be penitent. Alice, Arden's sweet husband, what shall I say? The more I sound his name, the more he bleeds. This blood condemns me, and in gushing forth, speaks as it falls, and asks me why I did it. Forgive me, Arden, I repent me now. And would my death save thine, thou shouldst he not die. Rise up, sweet Arden, and enjoy thy love. And frown not on me when we meet in heaven. 10. Chapter 1. In heaven I'll love thee, though on earth I did not. Chapter 1000. Ire, say, Mosby, what made thee murder him? Franklin, study not for an answer, look not down. His purse and girdle found at thy bed's head. Witness sufficiently thou didst the deed. Chapter 1. T. Bootless is to swear thou didst it not. Chapter 1000. Osby, I hired Black Will and Shakebag, ruffians both, and they and I have done this murderous deed. But wherefore stay we? Come and bear me hence. Franklin, those ruffians shall not escape. I will up to London 20, and get the council's warrant to apprehend them. Exeunt. Scene 4. The Kentish coast. Here enters Will. Will, Shakebag I hear hath taken sanctuary. But I am so pursued with hues and cries, for petty robberies that I have done, that I can come unto no sanctuary. Therefore must I in some oyster boat at last be fain to go on board some hoy. And so to Flushing, there is no staying here. At Sittingburg, the watch was like to take me, and had not I with my buckler covered my head, and run full blank at all adventures 10. Chapter 1. I'm sure I had ne'er gone further than that place, for the constable had 20 warrants to apprehend me. Besides that, I robbed him and his man once at Gadshill. Farewell, England, I'll to Flushing now. Chapter 5. Faversham was famous for its oysters. Scene 5. Justice room at Feversham. Here enters the mayor, Mosby, Alice, Michael, Susan, and Bradshaw. Chapter 1000. Ire, come, make haste and bring away the prisoners. Bradshaw, Mistress Arden, you are now going to God. And I am, by the law, condemned to die. About a letter I brought from Master Green. Chapter 1. Pray you, Mistress Arden, speak the truth. Was I ever privy to your intent or no? Alice, what should I say? You brought me such a letter. But I dare swear thou knewest not the contents. Chapter 50. Eve now to trouble me with worldly things. And let me meditate upon my Saviour Christ 10. Whose blood must save me for the blood I shed. Chapter 1000. Osby, how long shall I live in this hell of grief? Chapter 100. Envy me from the presence of that strumpet. Alice, ah, but for thee I had never been a strumpet. What cannot oaths and protestations do? When men have opportunity to woo. Chapter 1. Was too young to sound thy villainies. But now I find it and repent too late. Susan, ah, gentle brother, wherefore should I die? Chapter 1. Knew not of it till the deed was done 20. Chapter 1000. Osby, for thee I mourn more than for myself. But let it suffice, I cannot save thee now. Chapter 1099. Hail, and if your brother and my mistress had not promised me you in marriage. Chapter 1. Had ne'er given consent to this foul deed. Chapter 1000. Ire, leave to accuse each other now. And listen to the sentence I shall give. Bear Mosby and his sister to London straight, where they in Smithfield must be executed. Bear Mistress Arden unto Canterbury 30, where her sentence is she must be burnt. Chapter 1099. Hale and Bradshaw and Feversham must suffer death. Alice, let my death make amends for all my sins. Chapter 1000. Osby, fie upon women, this shall be my song. But bear me hence, for I have lived too long. Susan, seeing no hope on earth, in heaven is my hope. Chapter 1099. Hail, faith, I care not, seeing I die with Susan. Bradshaw, my blood be on his head that gave the sentence. Chapter 1000. Ire, to speedy execution with them all. Chapter 5. For the charges of brenning Mistress Arden and execution of George Bradshaw, XLIIIS, Canterbury Records. Scene 6. Here enters Franklin. Franklin, thus have you seen the truth of Arden's death. As for the ruffians, Shakebag and Black Will, the one took sanctuary, and being sent for out, was murdered in Southwark as he passed to Greenwich, where the Lord Protector lay. Black Will was burned in Flushing on a stage. Green was hanged at Osbridge in Kent. The painter fled, and how he died we know not. But this above the rest is to be noted. Arden lay murdered in that plot of ground 10, which he by force and violence held from Reed. And in the grass his body's print was seen, 2 years and more after the deed was done. Gentlemen, we hope you'll pardon this naked tragedy, wherein no filed points are foisted in, to make it gracious to the ear or eye. For simple truth is gracious enough, and needs no other points of glossing stuff.